What is up, everybody? Spidey here, and as always, I hope you're having a marvelous day. I'm with my friend, the 9.9 newsstand, Manu, and it's time for the marvel. Manu, it's been a week,
It
and we're
has.
back.
How are you?
It goes so fast.
It goes fast. This was a really long week. We're going to talk about it though.
Oh yeah,
This week
you did
was a
something
long
that
one.
you don't do. You actually got in an airplane and flew to go see somebody,
I
which is
got an
weird.
airplane. I went somewhere. We'll tell that story.
Yeah. I'm
We'll
looking
tell
forward to
that
that.
story.
Uh,
Yeah.
we we also you saw Deadpool on the thumbnail. We got some Deadpool goodness. We're gonna open up a box of X Force here.
What
There's a
year is
reason
that?
why we're opening this box. We'll talk more about that soon. That's
Okay.
going to be fun.
Nice.
And we got some of our friends here. Bad Wizard Chris says, I was very satisfied by this notification.
Ooh, well, that's very satisfying to hear. Hello, Bad Wizard.
We aim to
Marvel
please.
Madness, what up?
Joshua seconds it. What's up, Cafe? Chromos?
Cafe Chromos. Hi.
Yeah. How's it going? We got Peyton Chambers. What's
Our
up?
friend. Hello, Peyton. How are you?
And we got my dad. He says, new Marvel
Leon.
show logo. Spidey's got a headache. Yeah.
Spidey's got a lot of responsibilities, and even he is human. Even he is human.
That's true. Hey, I'm liking this comment. Hey, Spider. He's got the Spidey emblem and the 9.9. Those look good together.
And 4 letters. Hello, my friend.
Yeah. Dan's here. Good evening. How's it going, Dan?
Dan, what up?
Yeah. Our friend Brittany. How's it going? Yo.
Hey, Brittany, thank you for that very kind comment on that post. I hope Dave saw it too. Dave, she was commenting on the fact that I love you.
Oh, that's sweet. Well, speaking of sweet, she gave away a pack of 1990 MU on the 1 year anniversary giveaway show. That
That's
person
right.
got the package, opened them up, and they were nice and centered.
Very nice. Thank you for that. Thank you
Yeah.
for that.
William's here. What's up? How's it going,
William
William Johnson?
Johnson, hi.
The one and only Alonzo Collectibles. How's it going, buddy?
My man, my man.
Yeah. Azza's here. He says good morning.
Good morning, Azza. Good morning, guys. Okay, I'm gonna wait until later because I want the world to know what Azza has done for us. So as our friends come join us this evening,
Oh, yeah. You
we're
can tell
gonna
him.
talk about what Azza sent me. Azza, you are. I don't have word. There's no word. There hasn't been a word created yet to
If
define how amazing you are.
All right, since there's not a word, if he was a Marvel card, which card would he be?
To me, he is a symbiote suit Spider-Man, limited edition, everything that I could want and hope for card.
Signed by Stan in white ink as a PSA 10.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
There he is.
That is what Azza is. I mean, okay, sneak peek, and then we'll show it again. Sneak peek. What in the world? Okay.
What are you doing with the box of Marvel cards?
I don't know what happened. My friends, they take care of me or something. I don't know.
Oh man, we got West Coast Dave. Has he actually recovered from the VentureCon?
Where is he? Dave, what's up? Yeah, he's recovered now. But it's not like he's recovered and then he's right back into something else. I need more details. I haven't spoken to him about it, but he bought like 50 short boxes recently, a collection, a massive one. So there's that.
Cardboardology says he'll be at the Laker game later today. Do you know who the
very
Lakers
nice.
are?
I do. They're famous. They're a brand. I did find out just the other day that in the playoffs, the Warriors were playing the Kings, and those are our local teams here. And I couldn't believe it. It was game 7. See, even me that doesn't know anything about sports, I knew game 7 meant this is exciting. That's what I knew.
It wasn't just game 7. Curry dropped 50 on them. But most of that coming in the second half, when it mattered. Like they weren't up and he was just shooting. Like he was keeping them in the game, giving them the lead. Like apparently
Did
it was
you watch the game?
No.
Oh, okay.
but I saw the highlights.
Cool.
We've already said hello to Joshua. Saying hello,
but
again.
We'll say hello again, Joshua. Hi.
Yeah. We got Justin McNeil saying, "How's it going tonight, peeps?"
Hey, what's up, Justin?
Alberto, what's up, buddy?
My man Alberto, what up?
Interglobal Collectible 77. How's it going?
Hey, my man, how are you? Oh, wait, he picked up a wizard recently, right?
Did he? Oh,
How could I be mistaken? I just saw that post. We just had an exchange on that post. You definitely picked up a wizard recently.
he
Which
did.
one?
It
Yeah.
wasn't yours though, right?
No, I do not believe that. I would remember if that one came from me. If
I
that
mean,
came from me and I don't know, then I'm lacking
for
on the customer service side.
for a moment, I almost sent you a message like, "Hey, I want that one," and then it didn't happen. Then I came back and it was gone.
Oh yeah, the 9-4 sold yesterday.
Yeah,
Yesterday, last night. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
As it says, LOL, you need to buy me now, Justin. I need to buy him the card that you described since he gave you a gift. This makes perfect sense.
Justin's I mean, as is the card. Azza is vaulted in Australia. He is in the Azza vault. He is vaulted for us.
He has a vault. I love it. Dave says, I'm still tired actually. Then I bought 50 short box collection today. Is it at home? Do you have it at home? Have you gone through it? What's the details?
What are the details?
Yeah, Azza, you're not wrong. Somebody had to buy him a box to open it. The question is, when is he going to open it? That's the question.
Yeah, Azza, we got to talk about the details. I appreciate it. And you're absolutely right. These boxes would not have been in my, oops, well, there goes the other half of the surprise, would not have been in my presence if it weren't for you. So whatever you tell me to do is what I'm going to do. Just give me a little bit of lead time.
Yep. Interglobal did buy a Wizard magazine. He does love it.
I knew it. I love it. I was so happy to see it.
Hey, did you see the new additions to VP's Instagram account?
The latest additions I saw were yesterday. I did see them. I'm drawing a blank at the moment. I need a refresher as to what they were. Because the animated stuff is still flashing in my mind bright as ever, but that wasn't yesterday.
Yeah, here I'm about to show everybody.
Oh, the samples. They were the moving, changing samples. The 252 and a black suit Spidey I hadn't seen before. I remember.
Look at this.
There they are.
How cool are those?
Very cool. I love that 252 sample.
Yeah, well, and for me, I'm like in the symbiote suit here on the left with him crouched down.
Yeah.
Love it.
Those are lenticular. We got to see him in action.
Yeah. You just don't get enough black suit Spider-Man on a trading card.
No, and I don't want them to start I don't want them to start saturating the whole thing or whatever. It's kind of nice that we don't get it too often, because when we do.
Are you serious? We literally just got Spider-Man metal, and it wasn't in the entire product.
Yeah, and you know what? To add insult to energy, to add insult to injury, when they did give us a black suit Spidey, they called it Venom.
They called it Venom. Oh, come on now! It's such a big version of Spidey. There's, the red and blue suit, and then there's the symbiote suit.
Oh yeah,
the symbiote suit. Yeah, there you go.
Cool.
Oh, countdown commence in 3.
Whoa! All right then.
Countdown to. Are we waiting on a 2?
I see a 2.
I don't see a 2.
One. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chris. Happy birthday to you.
Marvelous birthday, my friend.
Have a happy, marvelous birthday to anybody that doesn't know what's going on. Our good friend of the channel, Chris, nostalgic_collector. It's his birthday today. And we want to say happy birthday to our friend. He's a great part of the community. He's a great part of the channel. He just recently started his own channel as well. Same name, nostalgic_collector. So happy birthday. I hope you're here with us. And it's his 40th. It's his 40th birthday.
What a big birthday.
He's bringing in with us here on the channel. Everybody, please say happy birthday to Chris, Nostalgic Collector. And I'll tell you what else. Peyton Chambers is his son. That's where the countdown came from. Our good friend Peyton. And to make things, Manu got the pipes. Listen, I can't believe I did that. But that's
you led it, man. I was thinking I was gonna have to get it up and going, and then you just went at it. I was like, all right, let's do it.
I just went for it. Here's what makes this even cooler. Peyton is our friend whose contribution to the eBay shopping spree was the Legion slab.
Oh, wow.
Peyton picked the Legion slab. That's so funny.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Well, we hope you guys have a great evening. Yeah.
Happy 40th birthday. Thank you for spending some time with us. Really means a lot to us. Yeah, we'll do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What an honor. Happy 40th. I hope you and
Yeah,
the family are well. Hope you guys have a great night, good food, some cake, whatever makes you happy. I hope you get it, my friend.
absolutely. Mark's in a little happy birthday cake. Oh, Captain Buttcrack.
Yeah, Captain Buttcrack, you know. That's so funny. That's awesome though. I'm so glad that's cool. Happy birthday. I love that.
Yeah. Well, look, hey, I think most people know that Mr. Rob Liefeld
Yeah,
is doing a signing with CGC.
right.
He is going to be, primarily focusing on his, comic books and stuff like that. But he
Sure.
announced that they were going to be doing Marvel cards. You may have saw that on the Marvel card news that I did. And ever since then, I've been looking for cards that I want to send in. And I want to show
Yeah.
you one of them real quick. And then we're going to get into this X-Force box because then we're going to be looking for some in the X-Force box because, Deadpool, right?
Hmm.
And so this will be fun for us tonight. And I guess I'll go ahead and say this publicly. I actually made the attempt to get Rob on the channel tonight. I got all the way to his agent, but didn't get any further.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's attempt number one. So
Yep. And look, we're talking about like 24 hours. So,
yeah.
um,
Card and comic freak, what up? I hope you're well also, my friend. How are you? Oh, he just recently picked up a nice Liefeld piece. He just picked up a New Mutants 98 newsstand 9.4. Congrats. Well,
wow.
was I supposed to say that? I don't know if I was supposed. I
Well,
tell everyone's business.
that's a
I
big
tell.
book.
Yeah. So congrats. All right. Yeah. So tell me about these cards you picked out. That's a comic
Well,
clipping.
so this is a 2019 Upper Deck Marvel Deadpool. They had comic cuts in that set, and most of them are terrible. We'll look at some of them in a minute, but I went ahead and grabbed this one just because it has Deadpool's face in it predominantly and has
Hmm.
that window in the bottom that I'm hoping Rob can like have fun with and sign in.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the problem is, after getting the comic cut signed by Todd, I was like, man, I really want more of these in the future. And so, like these are the ones. Can you still see my screen?
Yes.
Look how terrible these cuts are. Look at that.
Yeah. I'm not sure why these were selected to be the cuts. They don't even have Deadpool in
Look
four
at
out of the
that.
five. What is that?
Imagine pulling that. It's some metal hand. I think that's Trevor. I think it's whoever sent Deadpool to go kill Cable or whatever it was in New Mutants 98.
A lot of thought they put into these.
Someone, this is just god awful, right?
Yeah, I'm not really understanding why this was the selection.
You have Deadpool getting punched here. At least he's like actually on the card. So now you can see why selecting this one, I was like, well, it may not be. Oh, where'd it go? Hold on. It may not be the best ever, but at
It
least
was
it's
the
got
best out of
Deadpool.
that bunch, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure. Yeah. So we got that. That's going to be going. Oh, yeah. He says you were good, by the way.
Oh, okay, cool, cool, cool.
So, but what we're going to do now, we're going to open up this box and we're going to see if we can get some, really cool cards
All right.
on here. Now, something kind of interesting about these is this is actually the first pack pulled Deadpool card where, let me get the light and stuff here. Good. You see that all right?
Yes, indeed.
So, the rookie Deadpool card is considered to be the promo card. In fact, that card's basically what started the rookie conversation, as far as I know.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but I think this set came out roughly the same time as that comic book.
I think there might have been a little debate about that, right? Yeah. I didn't
Yeah,
follow it too closely, but they got to be the same year, I think.
man, this thing is clean. I kind of hate to open it, but I am. Don't worry.
Let's do it.
Proof of purchase,
I've actually never looked at this box before.
comic images. It's a good looking box.
Yeah.
This says individual 10 or X-Men 10s, individual 10. So something sat right here, and the QR code came off of that and stayed onto this box.
Oh, I see.
See that?
That's interesting.
So special autograph series, 1,000 artist autograph cards randomly packed throughout this series.
Really?
Yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah.
And
I hope we pull one of those.
there is versions of this box that does not say autograph series. So be careful what you're paying for.
Oh, very interesting. John Rambo, good evening. Jesse M says, I just bought a box of those last night. Well, that works out well. And then
Yeah.
RMS Collect says, get the box signed by Liefeld.
Oh, just send the whole box like this and get it signed.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
And then get a nice little plastic cube for it.
Hey, look, it's like there was a price here. It's been colored out.
That's been Sharpied.
Yep. So, all right. Oh, and before I show you that, I want to show you this. Daniel Dunn, our buddy, gave me this as a gift.
Whoa.
Look at that comic cut.
Yeah, tell us about this. Where is this from? That looks amazing.
Look how big that frame is for that.
Yeah. Is this a custom made card? What is it?
No. Oh, wow. This is from 2011. And yeah, it's a great card. Number 4 of 61. And it's the issue that you and I both pulled comic cuts out of.
Right. Amazing Spider-Man number 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
First Lizard. So they cut up another one 10 years prior.
Yep.
Had no idea. Lucas says, dang.
Yeah, I'm happy to have that one. Thank you, Daniel, if you're listening at some point.
Marvelous Pax, what up? He said it's from Marvel Beginnings. Nice.
Mm-hmm. Let's get in this. All right. Obviously, I would love to hit an auto. Obviously, that would be.
I think you're going to. I'll be completely honest with you. I think you are going to absolutely hit an auto. There's no question about it.
I'll believe it with you.
There's no question.
So here we go. Here's what the packs look like.
Very 90s, very early 90s.
All right, so let's talk about Deadpool real quick and Rob Liefeld. So, Rob Liefeld told this story. I actually heard him tell it on Whatnot, oddly enough, where he says that he created Deadpool because Todd would make fun of him for having to draw faces and meet deadlines whenever he just had to draw Spider-Man or Spawn.
Right.
And with no faces and meet deadlines. So he was like, I want to create a character. And he wanted that character to resemble Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe, because he grew up with G.I. Joe and loved it.
That's really the origin story as he tells it?
As he tells it. So he said a killer with super agility, hence Spider-Man. Healing factor, Canadian, hence Wolverine. With the appearance of Snake Eyes.
He kind of nailed it.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
The Spider-Man influence is always something that was so apparent, the sort of, what's the word, like the sleek look of him, or it's a slender sort of athletic build, but the slender athlete, the runner.
How's that coming through?
There it goes. There it is. Yeah. Oh, this is going to be fun. All right, cool.
Yeah, what if it's a dual auto with Fabian and Rob? That would be crazy.
Yeah, that would be nuts. Who said that? Dave said that. Dave, what up?
Yeah.
John Rambo says Thug Life.
This is one I wanted. This is you recognize this, right?
This is the first Cable, New Mutants issue number 80, 98, 96, 90, 92, 88. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's earlier than 98. It's like
88, I think.
But the artist, this is what I'm trying to get you to point out.
Oh, it's McFarlane and Liefeld. Yeah, it's McFarlane and Liefeld. That's awesome. Ooh, what if you got that signed at the McFarlane signing and then sent it back in for this signing? That would be New Mutants 87. Yeah.
I only had
West Coast and RMS is telling us. Yeah, right. That's a good looking card, and it looks well centered. Well, from
Yeah,
the
it's a
quick
little
glimpse that I
off-center.
gave it.
It's a
Okay.
little off-center. Well, I need to make sure I don't pass up an auto. You know, yeah,
Is that
you
Vulture?
assume Vulture, yeah.
Cool.
Escape. The Warrior. Oh, that's not Magneto.
Is that Magneto screaming? What's happening here?
Well, Shatterstar's giving somebody the business with these swords.
Yeah.
Jubilee. It's cool.
I love Jubilee. Jubilee's dope. Jubilee's massively underrated in my opinion.
There's Gambit.
Good looking Gambit card too. I like the way they did that.
It's an early Gambit card.
Yeah.
I like it.
Wait, does Gambit ever wear glasses? Am I confused?
No, you're confused.
Okay.
Not regularly, anyways.
Thought maybe he had some cool shades for some reason that popped into my head.
Yeah, I like that card. Sit it there.
Inner Global's asking if this set is Domino's first on-card appearance. I
It
don't know. Do
is.
you
My
know?
understanding is that it is, and I heard that from Fausto, saying that this is not only Domino's, but it's also Cables and Deadpool's.
There you go.
You got Cable came out in 90, I believe. Somebody correct me if on that. There's Domino with Deadpool down here.
Domino's dope. I need to I think if I spent more time like looking at Domino stuff, I'd become a Domino collector. Not like my Black Cat sort of collection, but something about Domino is really appealing.
Yep. Oops, sorry, bumping the camera here. It's one of our Cables. Butta.
I'm looking for this autograph.
Yeah, same. Terrorist.
Dave says Gambit
Ooh.
wears a monocle only on Sundays.
It's funny. Look at that.
Nice. You know,
Oh, that's
this is the sort of artwork that I first saw when I was young. Like, this is the stuff. This is bringing me back to the smell of the 90s. Like, I'm loving this.
Look at that close up of Shatterstar.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're in the comments, tell me which ones you think I should send for the signing. That's why I'm opening these.
You did put that Cable cover to the side, right?
I did, yes.
Okay, cool.
Mystique.
Lucas says 90s is where it is at. I agree from the bottom of my heart.
And I don't know if the card would be signed on the front or the back. That's the other thing.
Oh, it's got to be a front. I mean, I have no idea, but I would assume front signature.
Sunfire.
Some fire indeed. Luke, John Rambo, Smells Like Teen Spirit. That song, I think, came out the same year as this card set. I have no clue if what I just said is accurate.
It's really close to 91. Yeah, I think so.
It's in that era. Jesse says, I recently sold Fausto a Silver Surfer card from the new annual set. Congrats on the sale and congrats to Fausto on the acquisition.
Yeah. Oh, we got another Cable.
That one had to have been centered better than this one, the other one.
Yes, it is. But I'm still going to set it to the side.
Yeah, you got to do some comparing for sure.
Join us.
Oh, RMS says most comic images were signed on back. So,
okay.
Whoa.
That one's all centered. So this is very similar to the last pack.
Yeah. Except I don't remember seeing that Mystique, but I could have been looking at the chat while you hit the Mystique last time.
We definitely had the Mystique. And I need to go through these backs real quick, if that's true. Certainly don't want to miss it. I like these backs as well. Sorry I'm not speeding through these. I'm just having a good time.
No, it's this is great actually. No auto yet, huh?
No auto. Not on those. Maybe on the ones I set aside, but we'll look at those later.
Okay, that'd be a fun surprise.
But I'm going to do a better job looking now. Ooh, I'm really excited about this one.
What'd you find? Oh, that's sick.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Won't that be fun signed?
It looks good. Is it the camera or is it a little heavy on the right?
It's a little heavy on the right. You're not wrong.
But it looks good.
Yeah, I like that one. Another Cable and Wolverine.
Oh, someone just said something about that. I think oh no, MPAC said send a Domino and Wolverine cable card. That'd be cool. Cable
That'd be
car.
cool. And by the way, so Rob said that Cable is the Wolverine to Deadpool being the Spider-Man, kind of the personality and character.
Okay. Okay.
So I thought that was interesting.
William Johnson says Cable's the best X-Men character. That might be controversial.
So we're just loaded up on them. Oh, Justin, you got to remember to look at the backs. Sorry.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That one's all centered as well.
Cave NYX says only when he plays poker. Oh, he's talking about Gambit and glasses. Ooh, that's a sick card. That's got amazing opportunity for signage.
Yes, it does.
That's special.
He says signature should be on the yellow bordered cards. Okay.
Oh, wow. We've got experts with us.
I'm still going to look at all of them. I got to get moving. We got a lot of packs. Did you say if it would be on the front or the back, though? Question.
Everyone's saying back.
Okay, cool.
So I'm assuming it's on the back of one of the yellow ones. Jesse says, I just watch a lot of YouTube. That's how we learn. That's how we learn. 1,000 hours of YouTube, we're experts.
Well, are all the same cards that are yellow?
Say again?
Like this one's yellow here.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean it's always going to have a yellow border, or does it change?
If that particular card in this set from the 90s did not have consistency in the border color, that means we're dealing with the earliest parallels ever.
I think it does have consistency, but are they saying that there's no chance that any non-yellow is signed?
That's what they're saying, but I would obviously still look at the back of every single card.
Ooh, Archangel.
Cool.
That is cool. Star.
Oh, RMS says the back would be all white with the auto, so it wouldn't have the standard back of the card. It would be a card specially designated for an autograph. Wow.
So we could do this to see quickly.
Yeah.
There was a white only. Oh, I saw something. Ooh.
What do we? Are there prisms in this set? I forgot what the answers were. That's a cool looking card.
This Wolverine and Cable again dropping in.
Dig it.
Same.
Kenny G, what's going on?
Whoa. Oh, there we go. New leader. A lot going on, so I don't know. Look good with a.
Ooh, look at that card. Is that the first time we're seeing that card?
Yeah.
I love that card.
That would look great with an auto.
How I like how the sort of dull forest green is playing with the blues and purples. Like, I don't know. I love that card.
That's good stuff.
That's a 90s green right there. I could imagine myself wearing just a green crew neck with light blue jeans.
So we got another one of these. So we've gotten 3 of these already, which I like, but there's another version of Deadpool in here that I really want.
RMS is voting for you to send that one, and I think he's talking about the Domino card because it's really good looking.
Yeah. I will pull a lot of card number 55. Oh, let's do the back reveal.
Whoa. Oh, never mind. Sorry. I apologize.
Ooh, shadow, sorry.
Armando DO6 says, when you just search the back reminds me of Lala, all you need to do is say trash. Speaking of Lala, connecting that to Ken Goldin, we'll do a little bit of a conversation tonight about John Rambo. I appreciate that.
We can talk about it now. We don't have to wait. Okay, wait a minute. All right. So,
Did
oh yeah,
did how many, just a show of hands, if you will. How many people watched the Ken Goldin Netflix show? 6 episodes, just recently hit Netflix. I think it's called The King of Collectibles. I believe it's called
Golden Touch, King of
The
Collectibles.
Golden Touch, King of Collectibles. How many people watched it? And Justin, did you complete all 6 episodes?
No, I'm still on episode 3 or at the start of episode 4.
John Rambo says I tried, and then he goes dot dot dot. Does that mean like you watched it and you couldn't stand it, so you turned it off? And Armando says not me, very confidently, like he's taking a stance. He's like not me, and I
Yeah.
won't. Marvel Madness is asking me if I watched it. My friend, I watched all 6 episodes. Believe it or not, 3 episodes at a time. I knocked it out.
So I'm laughing at Chris's comment because he doesn't know how true what he almost says is.
Where? Which comment? King of Collectibles is Chris Bad Wizard?
Yes.
Okay, hello. I should know that. King of Collectibles is going to have another season because Justin wasn't in this season. That's right. That's an oversight. And it's going to come. There's definitely, I think there's going to be a season 2. I mean, I
Well,
don't know, but
I'm
I think
prepared
there
to
is.
tell that story tonight. By the way,
The what story?
the Justin on the show story.
Oh, I want to wait. There's an actual story about how you were supposed to be on the show. I want to hear that story, and then we'll talk about what we think of the show. Let's hear that story.
Yeah, I'll do that. So I
Yeah.
was texting with Ken, telling him congratulations on the show.
And he
But
gave you that busy man thanks. It's a
he
thanks
gave me the
though.
busy man thanks. I mean, I
Not too
don't
many
blame him.
people get a response, so a busy man thanks is something.
Yeah. So backtrack a little bit here. Um, this story involves the Gold 1 of 1 Spider-Man PMG.
Mm-hmm.
So the date roughly. So I'm live on camera, not staring at a calendar and recounting time. But the date was roughly right before. It was in December, but before Spider-Man No Way Home released. So this was December 2021. I get the call that, hey, we want to offer you, more money than you can turn down for the Gold 1 of 1. And the negotiations of that involved more than just money, and part of it was how it was going to even be, made public, right?
Okay.
And because I at the time, I really felt like being connected with that cell would be really positive for me in many different ways. A lot of the hate that exists, around high sales now did not exist then. It was actually quite celebrated at the time. Ooh, look at that one, captured by the
Well,
blob.
he's about to be absorbed by the blob.
Yeah, and and so that was part of the conversation. And long story short, some of the things that was, promised was that the sale would actually occur being recorded for the Golden Touch for the show.
Oh, okay.
And so that led into January. And, now the card is like not actually in my possession anymore. It's actually at PSA. And I'm waiting on when I'm going to be able to fly out to go record this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I get, like some possible dates, some likely dates, and then they come and go and it doesn't happen. And I'm like, man, this card is now starting to show up other places and it hadn't been announced yet. And it was starting to get really awkward, and then one day after it gets graded by PSA, it shows up on TikTok or something, the card does. And people are like, hey, why is your card over here? And here I am, I'm waiting on flight instructions on when to go do this episode. That then bleeds into February. And I finally got hey, look, it's probably going to happen on this date and this time, but not confirmed. And I told him, I was like, you know what? Hey, I really appreciate it, but I can't live in this limbo and just fly at some drop of a dime to go do this episode. So I'm not going to move forward with it. And to be honest with you, I honestly thought that it was never going to happen. I didn't think that he was actually going to get them recorded because of
Okay.
because of kind of the non-committal aspect of things. And
It wasn't
but
feeling very certain to you. Yeah.
yeah, when you're someone like me here in Louisiana, not well connected and all that kind of stuff, and you're talking to these people that are doing these big things, you know, you don't know if you're just getting messed around, like if you're just getting told what you want to hear kind of stuff. And
Right.
so eventually I was like, you know what? I don't like that feeling at all. I don't, and so I'm just not gonna do it. It's that simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so at that point, once I realized that it was not going to be announced officially in that capacity, which was the desire all along, and by then other big card sales had happened, and the whole atmosphere around it had changed as well, and so I just decided to negotiate an ownership back into the card since they were not able to fulfill on the agreement. And so that's what I did. And then I made a post, hey, look, I don't have the card anymore, but I've negotiated some ownership back in the card. And, I'll still have access to it here and there, but it's no longer just mine. And that's when I made the Instagram post. So there never was a big announcement on when it sold, how much it sold for, or wasn't done on camera specifically for the Netflix show either. But that's why
I see.
whenever the La La video is happening
Mm-hmm.
and they say Justin, he goes, who? He goes, Justin. He goes, who? He goes, Spidey Jew. And he goes, oh yeah, I know him. That's why he
Yeah.
knows me.
That was the connection. Got you. Got
Yep.
you. Okay, so at the time that he was sort of courting you for this sale to be publicized through Golden, you were already making the arrangements to transfer ownership to the sale that you
No, the
actually took.
card. Yeah, no, the first time I talked to Ken was well after, like I said, like the card had already been done. The way it
Oh,
was
got it.
going to be
Okay.
announced was being decided.
Okay.
We were like, well, let's just do it on this Netflix show, and that'll be how it's done. And then that created more delays, and then it just felt so unnatural or unauthentic to then announce the sale that was now 2 months old. I was like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, sure, sure. But so did Ken have or did I didn't know that Golden was involved in your initial sale, like in you being connected to who bought the
No,
card from you.
Ken played no role in the sale. Ken was
Okay.
brought in as, hey, this could be how we could do this publicly on this show.
Okay. And the other promises were going to be like mutually beneficial, right? Because it would be
Yeah.
publicity that would have been good for everyone. Got you.
Well, I'm just a small town boy. I thought it'd be fun to be on camera.
Oh yeah, you bet. It would have been, yeah, of course, of course, of course. It would have been really cool to see some Marvel representation on that. It was in like the last episode, one slide, there was something about something Marvel, and that's all I remember. Um,
Yeah.
but but in terms of the show, Marvel Madness says here, Joshua says, I lost the comment here, but it was something along the lines of you'll watch the Ken Golden show. Oh, he says, where? Oh, he said you will watch Ken Golden, but not Marvel movies. And I want to take some time, just pardon me on what I'm about to say, because there's a bunch of things that I can say, but the answer, of course, is yes, because I did. So, you know, that is what has happened. I've watched the Ken Golden show and I haven't watched Marvel movies. One of the reasons, and I don't know if this, one of the reasons is it's more relevant to my day to day. It's more interesting to me because even though much of the show, you know, it's a reality television show, there's scripted scenarios, but it's still more real. Um, it's less manipulated than a completely, you know, fictional show. And that's a funny word. I'm using that word, you know, with some humor because we're talking about a large auction house and things,
Strife.
and you're privy to some of my previous discussions about some of
Ooh.
these large auction houses. But yeah, so I made the time to watch that because that falls more in line with sort of my appreciation for a show like Shark Tank and stuff. I like deal making. I like seeing a little bit of behind the scenes, even if it's a bit of a scripted behind the scenes. It's still very easy for me to digest it, and it just kind of is what it is. I can't sit still for 2 hours to watch something that I'm not necessarily learning from, or getting some insight from that I'm going to utilize in my day to day, you know, that sort of thing. Oh, there it is. There's the cover. Ooh, centered nicely. Yeah, I think
it's a little fat on the left, and there's some imperfections in the paint here.
okay. All right, so Marvel Madness is laughing at Dave. I want to know what Dave said. Dave said Ken Goldin is like a bad comic character. Hey, some people like villains, you know. One of my favorite hats says supervillain on it. I like a little bit of an edge. I've said this before, guys. I can't knock the hustle. Like, I have a respect for hustle, but then we get into the weeds and talk about what might be distasteful about certain people's practices and things. But that's a whole nother discussion. Kev McGee says definitely has villain vibes. Of course. Can you imagine Ken's laugh after he makes $1 million? I'm sure it's perfect for the villain vibes. John Rambo says there's so much insight in Marvel movies, though 9.9. And there may be. I can't speak to what I don't know. Like, I'm ignorant in that. But, you know, I mean, you can't argue with me that there's a bit. Well, I mean, you could argue with me if you'd like. That's fine. A healthy argument's good. But speaking from personally, I still think that show is more relevant to my day to day than a Marvel movie. And I know that's a weird thing to say, but
well, you kind of buy and sell collectibles for a living, so
kind of do that for a living. And then immediately after that, or the day after, I actually had a very important phone call with Comic Connect with Vincent's operation. I didn't call Goldin, but I did call Vincent's operation about something, and we're working on something right now.
Very cool. We haven't seen these cards yet.
Marvel Madness says if you keep on doing the Marvel show, it is going to be part of your day to day. You have to start watching them. I think you're misunderstanding the fact that like Marvel is absolute. This is we could do a 30-minute conversation about this. Marvel is obviously very much a part of my life. But again, I'm rooted in 90s nostalgia. I'm rooted in memories of things. I'm not necessarily too interested in being entertained by current media, however that comes off, you know. It's one of the reasons why I don't get so excited about going to cons and stuff. Like Joshua and I recently had a conversation about SDCC, and he almost sold me on the idea. You know, I was like, this sounds fun, but then I remembered it's not really me. You know, it's the same way that I love music and I appreciate certain artists and songs very much, but I don't care about going to a concert. And so there is some correlation there.
So I'm just gonna point out this one's a cool one.
That is a cool one. That is a cool one.
It's part of that's the cover, I think, issue number 100 of X-Force.
Kev, don't get me in trouble. That's not what I'm saying. Hey, Kev, I like your new logo, man. I like that nice, clean logo that Kev McGee's rocking right now.
Oh, yeah, that's a good logo.
Bad Wizard said Marvel cards would definitely be in Goldin Season 2. I have a feeling. Bad Wizard also says the Lala skit was filmed for King of Collectibles, had to be.
You can say that, but I can tell you, I was in very much conversation with their media team, and I was not given any warning about any cameras going to any show because I'm technically in that filming.
What are you disagreeing with, Marvel? I'm giving you my personal opinion, and you're giving me yours. There's no disagreement in that. Those are two personal opinions. If I say the Ken Goldin show is more relevant to me, how could you disagree with me telling you what's more relevant to me? I'm not saying it should be more relevant to you. I'm telling you what it is to me.
But Chris, I do agree. It needs to, if they're doing a season 2, it needs to be on that episode, one of the episodes, at least a small segment.
I guess I did say argument. Yeah, when we do our show together, Joshua. I can't wait to have this conversation with you, like for 30 minutes, like for an hour, because it's got lefts and rights.
Hey, you know? We got another one. This one's another one to the left. So
I'm going to catch up with some of these. Go ahead, please. I'm going to catch up with some comments while you talk.
Yeah, here's my thoughts about the show. It was much cleaner and brighter than I anticipated. It had I thought the pace was good, you know, from a viewing standpoint. I loved that they kind of made fun of themselves in episode 1 with Beanie Babies, like right off the bat. I thought that was a nice soft touch. The warehouse surprised me. I don't know. Did it surprise you?
Tell me more. What do you mean the warehouse surprised you?
Where they house the collectibles?
I don't actually remember seeing where they house the collectibles. I've seen Golden's
It's like,
warehouse before. Where in the show did it show it?
oh, it showed it plenty of times in the show. They kind of panned in and out of it all the time.
I probably wasn't surprised by it then because it didn't hit me as anything odd. What surprised you about it?
I don't know why it. I just didn't visualize that as the operations. I guess I thought it would be more. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just think I thought it was going to be more museum-esque, type,
Oh,
not industrial feeling, in terms of the way the
oh,
warehouse
sure,
is set up.
sure,
Ken's office
sure.
was not as elaborate and kind of like egocentric. It was pretty bland. Me had some
Yeah,
collectibles up on the wall, but it wasn't. I mean, I look at my room in here and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got all kinds of stuff everywhere.
yeah. In terms of the environment, one thing I noticed about like the salespeople, I mean, that's just a regular like 9 to 5 environment. It was like cubicles and fluorescent lighting and computer screens. It's like, oh yeah, it's a job, it's work.
Um, I did like that. What's the lady's name that's on there that kind of does the self promoting of Golden?
I do not remember her name, but I cannot forget her voice, but I do not
Yeah,
remember
she
her
does. She
name.
has a very distinct voice.
Yeah.
She put up a reel the other day, and then somebody made the comment. She's like, do they all get their haircut at the same place? And sure enough, they literally all have the same haircut.
Except the one guy whose haircut got all messed up and they brought a barber in to cut his hair
Oh,
in
well,
the office.
apparently she says, have you not watched all the episodes? Of which I haven't either, because apparently something does happen.
Oh,
What's
okay,
going on
okay.
here?
Whoa, is this a naked card?
That's crazy. Let's move.
I get this. It's like I know Joshua like loves me, I think, but like and Joshua is like always
There
so
we go.
positive and so much love, but I feel like he's like beating me up with love sometimes. Like I feel like he's giving me sneak disses and I just can't
Oh,
see through the hearts.
like the backhanded hug.
Yeah, like it's like, are you all love or are you really just really angry at me and you want me to know it, but you're doing it in a secret way? Can't tell.
Hey, will you answer Zen's question?
What did he say? What show are we're talking about my goops. What up? Zen, you know what? Zen, we haven't said hello to Zen in a long time because
Mhm.
Zen, hello, my friend. He says it's his sarcasm, Marble Madness. Sorry, Zen. Um, Ken Goldin show. It's called King of Collectibles. What is it called again? Golden Touch, King of Collectibles. It's a mini series on Netflix, and if you're into like the
Pawn
antique
Stars?
collecting show, if you're into Pawn Stars, it's Pawn Stars on this kind of modern level because it's
It's
it's an
literally, I
auction
think, the
house.
same producers or something like that. There's some connection to Pawn Stars.
It's
Hey,
very much done the same way.
look how great this card is.
Oh, it's amazing. It's
Okay.
amazing.
See how it's
Yeah.
actually centered for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some imperfections, but look how bad the back is.
Oh, yeah, heavy on the left, heavy on the left. But they're very forgiving about the backs. Joshua says, sorry, Manu. No, my friend, that is not something to apologize for. I just like to be able to be open. And sometimes if we offend each other, we're going to say that to each other. And I think that's nice. I think that's what a friendship actually is.
I
So,
tell
no,
you,
I
show.
appreciate you very much.
All right. Y'all done? Y'all done making up?
Yeah, we're done for
Okay.
now.
I tell you, show that oh, that have we seen that one? Yeah, we have. That was really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, we have. Yeah.
Um, that I really enjoyed. Remember the antique show or the show where two guys would drive around in their van and look for antiques, old barns and all that kind of stuff.
I'm pretty sure I remember. Yeah. Yeah.
It's something. Anyways, whatever it's called, I really enjoyed that a
Is
lot.
it the Antique Roadshow or no?
There we
Because
go. No, not the
is
road. That's a
no,
great
that's
show
the one
too.
where they do. Yeah, that's
It's
different.
PBS.
Yeah.
American Pickers. There we go.
All right.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that show, and I think shows like that and shows like Ken Golden can really be a positive, especially when they're educating about the collectible. You know, I think that's really useful.
Yeah. And I'll tell you something. Zen said, "Oh, he said, oh damn, literally just pulled up Netflix and it's a highlighted show." I
Hey, it
think
was
too.
ranked number 9. I wonder where it's at now.
Yeah, and
Hey.
the timing of it, it's kind of on the other side of the hype cycle for the current cycle of collecting we're in, but collecting is still much larger than it was 4 years ago, like in terms of mainstream. And so it is something that's top of mind, and I think a lot of young people are going to the show's going to resonate with them, and they're going to appreciate the hustle element of it. It's hustle disguised in collectibles, but the show is not about collectibles. The show is about hustle. That's what it's about.
Let's see if we got an all white one. Come on, we need it. So that Deadpool that had his face up close, we need more of those. That's the big hit for me, and of course the autos. Cards like this is nice.
There's some pretty bad scripting in the show too, right? Because there was like this father and son that came in with this card that they pulled, so on and so forth, and they're like, we have no idea what the value of this card is, right? And so then Ken makes him an offer from like a private seller, and then the kid goes, well, we have an offer for 150,000. Well, 5 minutes ago you said you had no idea what the value of the card was. You could have cut that clip together a little better.
Well, could it be that they don't know if it's worth actually 300,000, but they know what their offer is?
Yeah, but it's
it didn't play well on camera.
It was cut a little wrong. Like they could have cut it in a way that seemed a little bit more genuine. The funniest parts to me are like the extra people that they have working for them. Like there's these other two people that are like running around looking for collectibles.
The father
And then
son.
I think it was a father son duo, the one that got the
Beast.
Beanie Baby set from somebody. And
Yeah, I
it's
like
like
their energy. They seem pretty cool.
they're very cool, and but it's like you're catching flights somewhere for $5,000 lots of things where the commission is going to be $1,000 to Golden. So it's strictly done for the show because that's operating at a loss entirely.
Right. But sometimes that's your entry point to bigger collectibles, which was kind of what they were highlighting. They had to earn the relationship.
Yeah, that's true, because that guy said if you could do right by me with these Beanie Babies, then you can have these signed footballs or something. Like I don't remember.
Yeah, it was baseballs. Okay, we got another changes. Awesome. I would love to have this one signed on the back. That would be incredible.
It would. Well, if you don't get it signed on the back, you'll get it signed on the front now.
Yep, I'm glad that we have that opportunity. I don't know how many I'm going to send
inserts in this. There's no hologram, no prism, no something.
Okay. Just the auto chase. Come on. I want to hit one so bad. Now the cable, bad, off-centered.
RMS says CGC not that forgiving on the backs. PSA definitely is. This is something I never mentioned to Fausto because I didn't want to be a damper on like the CGC excitement. But now people are going to know that I did have an opinion when I saw this. But this is RMS says CGC is not forgiving on backs of but PSA definitely is. There's an early submission that Fausto got back in the promotional days of CGC cards. And there's a very cool card that was a 10. And the back is the most off-center thing I've ever seen. And Fausto was doing a live unboxing, and he didn't know what to anticipate. So on this live stream, when he turns the card over, I imagine even he was shocked. Like, what the heck? And then people started making comments, and Fausto had to just be like, listen, I didn't grade it. I'm not the grader. I'm not sure. Maybe they're just and it was like I was a little ashamed because I was like, man, they set Fausto up for that, dude. He's live. And this card has the back of a PSA too.
Well, apparently they watched that and they've overcorrected now.
That's funny. We got to find that because now it's water under the bridge. We got to find that clip and laugh at it.
I need to find out if Rob did this art on Gambit. Surely he did.
Oh, the whole set is not Rob? Like the whole set?
Well,
I don't know these things.
I don't want to presume it, but I think that's the intent. Is that it's all from X-Force. So, but if it was him, then I'm gonna get it signed for my brother. That'll be a cool Gambit for his collection.
I want to read more of these comments. I love talking about this show. It's funny. It's just Umrit, what up? Everybody say hi to my friend Umrit. Hello. She's
Hello,
in the
how's it going?
collectibles now. Thanks to us, she's in the collectibles.
Wow.
Not.
Okay. We got another one.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
Oh, 2 in 1 pack.
No way. That means one's
Yeah.
got to be signed. Turn this card over. No.
Not signed.
Why they do that?
I'm happy they did it. So I guess a question for the chat is anybody else sending cards in to get signed?
You know, yeah, I'd like to know. I mean, because like McFarlane is just way more. I gotta stop before I really get in trouble.
No, say what you're saying.
I just think McFarlane's way cooler than Liefeld, and I'm not excited about the Liefeld signing. I'm excited for people that are excited about the Liefeld signing.
Where would you rank Deadpool as a character?
Oh, he's up there. He's up there. But you know, I was talking about this with somebody that recently entered my life. A really cool new friend. I'll tell you about. No, I got to keep that stuff private. But I said I was like Deadpool's like not one of the people that I collect. And I think I just told Dave this the other day that I don't think I've ever had a copy of New Mutants 98.
Oh,
If I did,
wow.
I just don't remember. And so,
So I mean,
and I just
it's literally the 90s.
it's the 90s, but I had gone so much naturally in the direction of McFarlane and Bagley, symbiote, Spider-Man, Venom, right? In that direction that I didn't really go the other direction. Like X-Force was removed from X-Men just enough for it to evade me. Because X-Men, I was there. Those characters spoke to me, but X-Force was just on the side enough that I didn't pay all that much attention, and Deadpool did not like I didn't develop an emotional attachment with Deadpool. And you know me, if I didn't develop an emotional attachment then, I don't have it now.
Right.
And so that's what happened. But he's awesome. He's obviously awesome, you know? So yeah.
No doubt. If Deadpool, because I don't recall him being in the X-Men the animated series, but if he would have been or predominantly in the series, would that be different for you?
Quite possibly. Quite
Because
possibly.
Cable was very much in the series, but
Man,
I don't recall
Cable,
Deadpool.
I'm almost closer to Cable than I am with Deadpool. Than
Yeah.
I am to Deadpool, like, in terms of just a personal relationship. But Deadpool's awesome, to me, he looks like Spidey. He's agile. He's got great wit about him.
Mm-hmm.
But I had Spidey already, so I didn't need another round
You
face.
need another one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. Somebody just mentioned sending the Deadpool polybag card, the one that's affectionately known as the rookie card. I'm definitely going to send one of those.
Man, you remember when somebody paid like 10 grand for a PSA 10 of that card? You remember that?
I do.
Wow.
Oh man, the world only knew.
Oh my gosh, what has happened? Marvel Madness just agreed with me. I don't know how to act. I think everything has just shifted. I don't know what planet I'm on anymore. That's me giving affectionate hard time to a good friend.
Well, here's what we know. Deadpool, Upper Deck has given Deadpool its own trading card set, but they haven't given Venom his own trading card set. And both of them were super villains when they were introduced. They were both introduced through, the chosen early 90s guys, Todd and Rob. But for whatever reason, they have their own record for saying that Deadpool sells better than Venom. And I believe I heard Grant Sandground say that the next Marvel Beginnings release is going to happen in phases of 1, 2, and 3. And the three characters that are going to be those sets are going to be broken into is Wolverine, Spider-Man, and Deadpool.
Oh, very cool. I am being forced to contradict myself in the best ways because Bad Wizard, look what he just hit me with.
What's
He
that?
said, Manu, how can you make that argument about having a Spider-Man already? When I said I already had a Spidey looking, character, I didn't need Deadpool. And he goes, how could you make that argument about having Spider-Man already when you love Venom? While Spawn came first. You know what? That's a great point, because even Spawn to me is because it's a McFarlane art, right? And the silhouette of his face is very much the Spidey silhouette that I enjoy. I never have compared Spawn to Venom, though, which you might be doing here. I'm not sure, but your point is still not lost on me. You're right. For some reason, I love Spawn. Like, if we're saying Spawn and Deadpool, I could have gone either way. Oh, Spawn grabbed me all the way. I love Spawn. That sounded terrible, what I just said. Ignore what I just said, or the way that it sounds. But yeah, you got a good point. I don't know what it was about Deadpool, why I didn't gravitate,
What if Deadpool's suit had been a symbiote suit?
Whoa, if it was like a black suit, that'd be so amazing.
No. He went straight to the black suit. No, what if his red suit was symbiote?
I'm glad
like
it
Venom
wasn't.
and like Spawn.
I'm glad. I like how Deadpool is. I like Deadpool. Deadpool is well designed, well originated, well violent, well sassy. He's got everything he needs. He's a pretty perfect character. So I don't know if that would have turned me, but yeah, Venom, Spawn, Carnage, and Spidey, I was just all the way there. Maybe it's because McFarlane. Maybe I just went wherever McFarlane went.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Who knows? When you're a child, you just go where your heart tells you to go. You really don't. You don't figure out the reasons until you reflect 40 years later.
I mean, I can tell you why I did or didn't. Is a lot of it had to do with Wizard. Wizard was telling me what to like.
Oh, right. Joshua, we're becoming best friends tonight. That's what's happening.
I don't think Wizard emphasized Deadpool like it did Spawn.
I don't think so, and it's probably because of the so Wizard started right when Image was starting.
Yeah.
Right? And so they were so the founders at Wizard were putting huge emphasis on everything that Image was putting out. And obviously Liefeld was a part of Image, but Deadpool got left behind because that was a Marvel property.
Right.
And so Spawn was what was getting all of the push.
And what was Rob's Image book that he did?
Are we talking Gen 13? Who did Gen 13?
No,
That's Jim Lee.
No. He did goodness gracious. Can't think of it.
Dave, you got to help us out here. What was Liefeld's Image contribution?
You're going to recognize it as soon as he
Youngblood. Kev McGee
Youngblood.
pops out with Youngblood. Smalls is telling us Youngblood.
Yeah, definitely Youngblood.
Marvelous Card says Wizard is magical, my friend. I tell everybody all the time, my favorite comic book is not a comic book. It's Wizard.
But I'm thinking that probably had a lot to do with it.
Maybe so. I'll tell you something else. And this goes like, you know me, guys, Meg Ryan, Sleepless in Seattle, these kinds of things. Characters with guns, I don't know. They didn't really speak to me.
Well, I think that Rob wanted him to have guns and stuff because he was such a fan of Deathstroke from DC and a fan of Teen Titans and a fan of, Captain America and all that. And, they had weapons. And so he wanted to create a character that also had a weapon. And of course, Deathstroke is, his last name is Wilson. And so they named the character Wade Wilson, just to go ahead and, recognize that they made a character a lot like Deathstroke.
Man, Terminator was dope. It's not like I disagreed with everything with guns. I think Spawn had guns every now and then too, right? Didn't he? Of course he did.
Somebody said Terminator has guns.
Nah, Kev McGee said Terminator ruled, though. He did. Terminator was awesome.
Card's bent. I'm just looking for the autos and the Deadpools now. There we go. Got another one.
Oh, man, made me think you pulled an auto. There's an auto in there.
Yeah, we're not done. We're not finished. That's only the second one of those that we pulled, and we only got 2 packs left. Let's get this box out of the way. Man, come on.
RoboCop, come on. Oh, RoboCop was awesome. Captain Crockpot, hello, good evening. Vintage Lord Canada, hello. Punisher is the goat of guns. Yeah, he's the goat of guns indeed. And Punisher was always cool to me because of the skull on his chest. It was just cool.
You like that black and white, don't you?
I'm big on the black and white. It's just something about it worked for me even then.
All right, this pack isn't doing it for us, guys. Last pack. We feeling it?
Last pack. It's in here.
And we need card number 60, and we need an auto. Do the back reveal. See if we get an all white. No all white. Let's see if we get card number 60. Nope. Nope. Not yet. No card number 60.
So out of the whole box, we didn't get that one Deadpool card?
We got 2.
Oh, which one's card number 60 then?
That one.
Oh, you just wanted another one. I got you.
Yeah. I wanted one that was better centered, and this one's got some whiting on it.
Oh, I see it. Are there backs of that pile, your considerations for signing that pile? You haven't checked the backs of all of those yet, right?
No, we're going to go through those now.
Okay, cool.
Well,
Sydney, hello. Kev McGee said, I never met a kid who liked X-Force our age. Yeah, I think I was one of those kids that didn't really talk too much about X-Force back then. Did X-Force just feel like a generic X-Men to anyone else?
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Right? It was almost like, I'm going to get in trouble.
So that's the 2 best cards we got.
I love those cards.
And this one is the one that'll go get signed.
What's that white thing in the green space to the right of Deadpool's face?
It's on the sleeve.
Okay.
Yeah. So that one will get signed. And then I'll go through the rest of these. And we'll pick some to get signed as well, based on condition and character.
Leon said, attention, can I tell y'all something about Punisher that y'all might not know? Enlighten us.
What's that, Dad?
Yeah.
People who are saying it was unpopular might need to rethink that. Yeah. So let's talk about that for a second, because I think there was a book that's like the most selling comic book of all time.
He said that. He said he said X-Force 1 is the second highest selling comic in Marvel history. Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah. It's I think they were saying with the kids, like people our age, maybe.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. I meant to us who are like 7 and 12. I don't remember drawing Deadpool. That's kind of how I think about it. I definitely drew Wolverine, Spawn, and Spider-Man.
Dang, Kev said, you're just older, Dave. That's why.
Yeah, you didn't just turn 40 like Chris.
Happy birthday, Chris.
But yeah, I think Wizard and not being in the X-Men the animated series made a difference for me.
Dude, I gotta show you something. This is so crazy, man. Can you make me big real quick, please?
You got it.
Thank you.
Your wish is granted. Tom
Thank
Hanks.
you, sir. Hey, Big was awesome. I love that movie. One of my favorites. You guys, you remember, right? The Error Malibu Sun 92? Well, when it was sent to me months ago, it was damaged in the inner encapsulation. They bent the corner.
Ah.
And so I contacted them right away. I said, hey, there's not a 9.2 in here, but I need you to take this back. I need you to send me a shipping label. I need you guys to press it and do everything in your power to retain this grade.
Mm-hmm.
So first, a week goes by and it's not posted to my account. I called. They said, oh, we did receive it. We accidentally sent it to a signature series event. I was like, what? Who this is a mechanical error to be corrected. It's not supposed to. And so they retrieved it, and then it showed up on my account, and then it goes scheduled for grading. I said, how could it be scheduled for grading? It needs to be pressed first.
Yeah.
And then it was like in quality control or something. So I call and I said, what's happening with this book? Why does it say? And then the next day it said shipped. How could it be shipped already? And the customer service lady, really nice lady, says, unfortunately, I have no information for you. I do see that it's been reholdered and it's
Wow.
on its way back to you. So you have to just receive it and let me know what happened. So as you can see here, it retained the grade, right?
Yeah.
They didn't do anything. It
Wow.
still has the big bend at the bottom. They didn't
No.
press it. They literally just changed the case. You have no idea how I plastered notes everywhere. You damaged the book. Correct the book. I can't sell an 8.5 in a 9.2 case. I can't do that. Fix it. They put it in a brand new case that says 9.2 still and didn't fix the book. Now it has to go back again. I just like, so that just that proves to me that we know this, but the one issue that would resolve a lot of issues at CGC is they just need to care. There has to be more personal attention. If I call customer service and they don't have a clue what's happening with my book, the disconnects are too real. Like, how
Yeah.
do you have someone actually making sure my book is going from here to there, getting done with notes all over it? But does the person that unpackages the book throw all the notes out the window and just like what happens from that point on?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's not being handled with care the moment it arrives there.
So now another, a bunch of time will go by before this book is back in my possession, and then I'll post it and then I'll sell it. But we still got to wait because it's still damaged.
Oh man, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, that's all good.
Oh, Pops answered his question. Watching Storage Wars, found a flight jacket for a fighter pilot, and the patch resembles the Punisher of Marvel, probably 1960s, 70s fighter pilot jacket with a patch sewn onto the leather jacket. So, Dad, actually, that's actually part of the issue that Marvel has is that the Punisher skull is so widely used that they can't take ownership of it. They can't copyright it. And that's why they recently changed the Punisher logo. And it's because they can't copyright it, because it has been around well before Marvel used it, and in lots of other places, some that they don't like being associated with.
Interesting. Diorama Rama says, sorry I'm late, boys. I checked not too long ago and didn't see the show. Stuart, my friend, the link did go live a little later than usual, so your story checks out. But I'm very happy that you're here with us now. We did a little bit of a coverage of the Ken Goldin show. Did you happen to watch the Ken Goldin show on Netflix? I want to know what your take on that was. I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was well produced. Andrew, what's up? What's up?
Our man's here. So did Azza say that you could open up one of those other boxes?
He hasn't told me nothing. I don't know. I have no idea. But look, guys, look what Azza sent me. You're not gonna believe this. Azza sent me 2 sealed boxes of Fleer Ultra Avengers.
Wow.
Azza sent me these. What in the world? I didn't know what to say. I still don't know what to say. So as soon as he gives me clear instructions, I will do whatever Azza tells me.
Yep. He's probably at work now.
Yeah, we'll talk offline. I'm rather excited because there's no way these would have been in my possession otherwise. And these are big. These aren't like Spidey metal. These have some to them,
Sure
so
do.
that's awesome. I actually can't wait.
It's gonna be fun. Diorama Rama says he hasn't seen Golden Touch yet. But his brother-in-law said it was good.
It's a fun watch. You eat a burrito, have some pizza. It's a good watch. It's, just a show.
Bad Wizard. Yeah, there is that impression that's being adopted by a particular group of people But I think it has much more to do with the fact that they can't control the logo because they can't copyright it and then sue people for using it.
Oh, you're talking Punisher logo.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. Hey, so
The
I
man
have
just gave
something
me a
here.
job. Oh, sorry.
Gave you a
He
job?
said
What job was
he said, "Can Manu research the patch for the channel?" I
that?
well, mate, yeah, sure.
He'll put you to work.
Yeah, he sure will. Okay,
Right.
you were gonna show us something, yeah.
Well, so I'm kind of hesitant to show this because some of my dear friends who I respect say, "Hey, Justin, you really can't show those on camera. That it's for some reason like taboo is not the right word, but like it's okay, but you can't be public about it, kind of thing." And so I've had these for a few weeks now, and I don't know. When somebody tells me I can't do something, it like really makes me want to do it.
Sounds like you're about to do it.
So, and I think these things are beautiful. I think they're wonderful. I don't see a problem with them. But yet, by somehow showing these, like some people may think bad of me. They may think I have something I'm not supposed to have. Marvel card contraband kind of thing. But let me flip the camera around.
Oh man.
I'll do this. Not the
I love
X1.
that pile. I love that pile. Oh, and we still got to go through the backs of your other
I did.
stack.
I went through
Oh,
that.
you did? Okay.
Yeah, we
All
didn't
right.
get a signature. We're going to get a signature, but we didn't get that one. Somebody said gatekeepers. Yeah. So
Interglobal. I'm going to talk about that. Yeah.
you know what this is?
Uncut sketch card.
Yeah, an uncut sketch card. But
Okay.
this is actually how it was sent to the artist
Okay.
from Upper Deck, and it's
Okay.
artist proof,
Okay.
which is what they sell. Like they sketch it and they sell it. It's their
Oh,
APs.
these are the ones they get to keep for themselves, the APs. Correct.
Yep. So I don't really see why there's an issue with these, but these are from Rittenhouse. These here, they're really cool. This is the Bronze Age Marvel card.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. Got this one also from Rittenhouse, artist proof. I could see how if this was like an actual sketch card that didn't say artist proof and someone could like make it look like this was pack pulled, but this is from Marvel Universe.
Okay.
There's another one from Rittenhouse. And 75th. I really like this one a lot.
Can I see that 70th logo up close? I want to see the characters. I see Spidey, I see Captain America, Wolverine. That's kind of cool looking.
Oh
I
yeah.
dig that. Yeah.
70 years.
That's big. We're almost on our 70th year of the Marvel show. These guys need to we're doing all right.
Avengers.
Yeah, Zen, I'm with you. Like Zen just said, these are cool, but I'm struggling to see why these would be taboo. Zen, I look at stuff that people guard, and I'm just like, you got nothing better to worry about? Like, what are you guarding this for?
I'm of the same opinion. And honestly, I would have shown these a few weeks ago, but I hesitated.
Let's go set a photo of me is more taboo.
And
a photo of him, yeah.
Marvel Universe. I think I've already shown that one. But anyways,
Small says my idea of taboo and those who said these are taboo are completely different. I love how we are all in agreement here. Whoever said these are taboo needs to lighten up some.
So here's what I'm doing. And I think this may be where the taboo part comes in because I don't fully understand the unwritten baseball rules of Marvel cards.
Sure.
But I'm learning.
But Justin, you wrote the unwritten rules.
No, I didn't. I'm
teasing.
No,
I'm teasing.
Stop that. I have not written any rules.
Yeah, but let's hear what's your take on it? Like, what is your understanding of what might be taboo to another person?
My take is that you could get someone to sketch on the artist proof, and it wouldn't be from an artist who is actually on the set.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? And
Yeah, I
that
don't
could
care
be
though, but I get it. Yeah.
the problem. Well, for me personally, I really want it to be an artist from the set. So it's
Yeah.
not an issue for me. Ash says, I don't see the problem. Um,
Hey, and Ash is an artist that does
yeah,
sketch
he
cards.
definitely is an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I could, anyways, I
Art
can.
cards.
It's just it's a blank, right? But it
So,
is an official license blank, and that is important. And maybe they have a blind spot, and I can't see how somebody could use it nefariously to make somebody overpay for something. Maybe there's something there.
how do those start to circulate? How do the blanks that are intended for an art, how did
So
they get out into the world?
great question. So this particular artist was, asked by Upper Deck to do a bunch of sketch cards,
Hmm.
and they did, but they never sold their own APs. They just sat on them
Hmm.
for years. I met them, had a conversation at a con. They told me about them. I was like, I'm interested in them. And they were like, well, I sat on them because somebody made me a ridiculously low offer and it offended me so much. I just stored them away.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't know what is high or low to you, but show me what you got and I'll make you an offer and you can decide if you're offended or if you
Yeah.
want the money. And,
Yeah.
anyways, they showed them to me and I got them. Yeah, it was great.
So that the idea that someone might have someone else sketch on it and
Mhm.
sell it to a collector of that set nefariously, or and that's real. Like I can see how that can be an issue.
Yeah.
Um, Sometimes I sit on cards to keep them warm like a chicken. Wait, what? Oh, that's what Dave said. Wait, okay. Um, but yeah, so I can see that part of it.
Yeah.
Somebody that wasn't a part of the set would, and probably has a number of times gotten in a hold of
Hmm.
APs from a particular set, and because that set is desirable or that set has people looking for it, was able to make a sale that if they had drawn their sketch on something else
Hmm.
might have not been able to make that sale, or for not the same amount of money. So I get it. Responsibility and due diligence falls on the buyer's plate. Like they need to make sure that they're buying an artist that was in that set if that's what they're after.
Yeah, and I'm pro tell the truth, meaning don't represent something that something is, from official from the set when it's not. You know.
Does Upper Deck release, or do people know how many AP cards, drawn or undrawn, how many AP cards from a set exist?
No, but there is a path towards knowing what the right answer is, and we're going to start with uh, the Jeff Allender site, and we're going to look at that together. So
All
when you
right,
come
Mark
here,
L said, yeah.
oh,
Mark L, hello.
yeah, hey Mark, it's my buddy.
Yeah, he's a big part of the show. Appreciate it.
Enlist.com, nslist.com. Top left says DC Marvel Comics. Click that, scroll just a little bit, and you'll have up to 20, I think 18 full, information about trading card sets. And so you can just pick one of them. We'll do Marvel Bronze Age. That was one of the blanks that you just saw
Hmm.
here. Scroll down towards the bottom, and it has sketch cards, one per 24 packs, and it has a definition of what scarce, extremely limited, very limited, and limited means. And then it has the list of artists by first name and alphabetical order. And so for me, like I have this one, I'm like, you know what? I might reach out to Tony Perna to do one. I might reach out to Rihanna Owens to do one, or Rich Henneman, because these are people who would have had an AP anyways.
Right, right, exactly. Hmm.
Even though that one may not be theirs, they would have they're in the set. They put cards in the set. They would have an AP anyways,
Yeah.
and that protects the integrity, or if you will, of the blank.
I kind of
you know?
like it being blank, uncut, like in that side with the guides on the side. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. I think for your master set collectors, they're going to want
A
pack
blank
full
for each
set,
one of the sets. Yeah,
AP, and then a blank of each as part of the card set.
that's kind of cool. And then that whole mystery of like which artist decided to not draw and sell it. It's kind of cool, that sort of.
Even though that artist gave like me carte blanche to tell the world whatever needs to be told, about it. Um, I'm just not going to do that right now. Um,
Oh yeah, no,
yeah.
please, no. Um, HH, hello, my friend. He says, "What's up, everyone?" Agreed. Golden Show was well produced, especially the part where they provide a background of why a piece is valuable, so people not in the world of collecting could appreciate it. Yeah, like someone that doesn't participate in that world is still able to watch that show and be like, "What? Wow! It's supposed to be a what? Wow!" And so, yeah, I agree with you. And then he said, "But something about Ken rubs me the wrong way, my friend. That just means you get it. Like it. I mean, I respect the hustle. That's all I can say anymore. I can't knock the hustle. He's Ken. He even says himself, he says, I'm driven by ego, competition, and money. That's his tagline for the show. I'm driven by ego, competition, and money. He's making no excuses, no apologies. We know exactly what we're getting when we're dealing with Ken. And if you ever join forces to complete an objective, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Zen says he's impressed with the site that we showed on what was archived there.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. Chris shares the sentiment. And then there was one more comment up here. Oh, Alberto said it might be that the blanks can be tracked or led back to the artist, so it might get them in trouble. So that might be a reason not to show them. Yes, this artist has been done with Upper Deck for years and years and years, and was totally okay with me showing them. But I chose not to say anything about them anyway, so those blanks won't be traced back to them.
Yeah.
But I am looking forward to getting them sketched. I am looking forward to
Ken
getting
on the show.
When are we getting Ken on the show?
Yeah.
There's no plans to get Ken on the show.
Let's get Ken on the show.
You want to talk to Ken?
I want to talk to Ken.
You think he's being somebody text me. Do you know who the MM artist is?
Ken Goldin.
Yeah, Ken Goldin. I don't know. I don't know that I would. I don't know that I want to do that. You want to talk to him?
Oh yeah, I definitely want to talk to him. I would love that conversation. It'd be controversial. It'd be spirited. It'd be a spirited conversation. I would love to have a conversation with Ken Goldin.
I'd be happy to have a conversation with Ken. But I probably wouldn't do it on this show.
Sure.
I think I would rather have a private conversation that we would record and then put up. But
that'd be fun. That'd be really fun. I'm curious to ask Ken a bunch of questions that other people have asked him too, but I want to ask him in a very like, what's your truth, Ken? Like, and if you want to not answer a question, that's fine too. But like, I'm at a place where I get it. It's like, come on. It's not like Ken's running around lying about his agenda, He's here to make money and pump up rare stuff so that the sales happen and then publicize the sales so more people give him stuff to pump up and sell for record-breaking prices.
Which he said on his show, by the way.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's not making any excuses, right? So anything that was kind of in the shadows, he's kind of just come out and said, this is what we do here. We publicize stuff and try to sell it for more money than anyone expects it to sell for. And then we try to do it again.
Hey, so I'm not going to call Ken live on the stream because I would not want somebody to do that to me.
No, of course not. But he's playing with us.
This is an interesting thought. Ken on the show would be cool, live, not recorded. So many questions everyone would love to ask. So to your point,
Ken can handle the heat. He can handle it.
Yeah, that would definitely serve the viewer. I was thinking about me having a more candid off camera conversation with them and then handling and any way it needed to be handled. But that would just serve me. But yeah, for you guys, yeah, it would definitely it'd be best to have it live so the viewers could ask him whatever questions. But Ken is pretty accessible. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say that he's shut off. That probably is going to happen more now because he's going to be
Now his
much more
phone's
popular.
blowing up more than before. Exactly.
Yeah. Now you
Yeah.
get the busy guy. Thanks. At least I get the THX. I used to send the
Oh yeah.
THX, by the way. And
I
then a
bet
friend of
you're the
mine,
busy guy. You're the
well, a
busy
friend of
guy.
mine called me. I didn't think anything of it. A friend of mine called me out on it, and I haven't used it since.
I would have been that sort of friend. I'd be like, bro, don't hit me with the abbreviation. Just you put a
Yeah.
heart emoji on it if you want, but don't hit me with the THX, man.
No, and don't hit me with the K.
Don't
Okay.
ever send me the K. Actually, Justin, if you sent me any, but you and I have an understanding. If you ever sent me a THX, I'd be like, Justin's busy. I can call Justin whenever I want. It's not like
But
Justin's avoiding me.
I've earned that, 55 episodes, 3 hours a week. Yeah.
Yeah. If this was the beginning of our relationship and you were sending me THXs and Ks, I might not
And
have
you'd be
showed up
like,
for the
K,
first live.
I see you THX. You're like, K, out.
Yeah. I'll see you on the live, Justin. And then not.
Never show up.
No, you're right. We established our relationship. Yeah, that's true.
Brett, that's Cat says, if the buyer's willing to pay the prices, why be mad at Ken? I think the
That's
idea
Cat.
that is Cat. I think the answer that some people might would have, I'm not saying it's the right answer, is that some of those prices people are willing to be paid is because they've been kind of convinced that it's the right price, not because they believe it's the price.
And that we got some. That's true, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's Cat. What you're saying, I don't think anyone's. Well, no, I can only speak for myself. I've never been mad at Ken for something someone was willing to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think about what I was going to say next first,
Mm-hmm.
because it's the buyer's responsibility. See, there's this other sort of buyer that is looking for Ken and the salespeople at an auction. It doesn't necessarily have to be Ken. It could be Heritage, it could be Goldin, it could be Comic Connect, it could be Comic Link. There are buyers that are on the phone with their representatives at the auction houses saying, what do you think this is worth? And this is just like a broker calling you up and saying, hey, this stock is a good one to buy, right? These sort of, they're supposed to be mutually beneficial, but there's a commission on one side. Someone that has a lot of money is supposed to be smart enough to know what the objective and agenda of the person on the other side convincing them in is. It's that person's responsibility to protect their wealth. Now, if they want to be a little loose with it and maybe make a bad investment, it's more their fault than anyone else's. But it's just, there's other things that happen that I disagree with. It's not necessarily the fact that they're convincing people that this could be worth it. They're not making any promises or any guarantees and stuff like that. And these are big, these are all adults. They know what they're doing. But there's just more. There's more to the world of the auction houses where we just got to be careful. That's it. We don't even have to be offended or mad. We just have to be very careful if we're involved. If we're not involved, it's all just entertainment to us. It's not our money.
So Dad says, I thought auction companies' number one objective is to sell for the most money available at the time. That's what they do.
That's what they do.
Dollar sign. Yeah, that's fascinating because, like, if you're, I don't know, geographically what you guys have in your neck of the woods, but we have these kind of, industrial buildings where.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
That's what my wife says all the time, by the way.
Listen,
where they have these auction houses where people bring their stuff and the auctioneers just, selling it as fast and as much as they can. That's kind of their job. Yeah. And they do, in my opinions, hype it up a bit.
That's exactly what I said. What Captain Crockpot said here, this is exactly what I said to you on the phone too, and what I said to a few other people. He said, I didn't want to like the Goldin Show on Netflix, but I couldn't help but like it. When I watched the first few episodes, the first few people that I spoke to, I said, listen, I didn't want to have good things to say about it, but I like the show, man. That's fun watching. It's fun watching.
So Mark makes and this is always kind of like this interesting discussion. We we kind of treat one thing like another when they're actually not the same thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So he says Manu, big difference is that stocks have a longer history and is a predictable market that the buyer can research. And the stock market itself has a long predictable history, but companies do not necessarily. And in this environment, the environment's even taking long-standing companies and making what they're doing in the short term not something
This
you can.
is a more direct comparison is somebody peddling or hyping up an IPO, an
Yes.
initial offering of a company that doesn't have history, and you don't know what's going to happen. The bottom can fall out a week after the initial offering, right? That would be a better comparison. But I'm only reconsidering what I'm saying because Mark said something so accurate. And then the other difference between a stock and a collectible is liquidity. A stock, more often than not, you press sell and it sells. A collectible, you can just watch the value disappear because you can't find a buyer. If a collectible is a falling knife, there is no one there to catch it, and you can go to zero. Very rarely does that happen to a stock. Not that it doesn't.
Definitely
Rarely
happen.
does it
And
happen
it
to a
is
stock.
happening right now. And the other part is regulation.
Yeah.
And
Auctions have zero regulation.
yes, very little. There's some that could be enforced, but they're
Thank you,
not,
Mark.
from what I
And
understand.
likewise.
So I don't, the the comparison of stocks and collectibles, I think, is just not a great comparison when people talk about them in the same way.
Sorry, one more time, please.
Stocks, collectibles, when people talk
Oh yeah,
about them in the same way.
it's not. Yeah, you can't talk about it in the same way. There are nuances that are completely different. The market moves in an entirely different way. A
Mhm.
stock is a collectible is also like owning a share, owning a private interest, an interest in a private company where there
Mhm.
is not a marketplace to sell it. In order to get out of your stake in a private company, you have to convince somebody the value of purchasing that percentage of the company that you own. This is something that I've been involved in, and I haven't been able to sell a certain portion of a private company that I want to get out of. But I
Yeah.
couldn't give everybody the right reasons to get out of it because why do I want out of it? Because the company's not making money.
Yeah.
So I have to tell whoever I'm trying to pawn it off to, and no one's purchased me out of this company. So it is what it is. It hasn't gone to zero. Hopefully it doesn't, knock on wood.
Well, how about I get you to buy in this automobile company that's really valuable and can have a long future of wealth building, but they own zero cars. It's called Uber.
Man, I wish somebody would have convinced me to buy into that company very, very early. I
Oh
wish.
man. Yeah. It's hey, you want to buy into this housing company? It's got a long, bright future. It's gonna make people very, very wealthy, but they
Yeah.
don't own any houses, and it's called Airbnb.
Airbnb. Airbnb. Man, Airbnb. Wow. When the pandemic hit, that was devastating for so many people because so many people with conviction owned so much Airbnb. Well, no, Airbnb went public.
Mhm.
Airbnb as a company lost a lot of value. Their private holders lost a lot of value, but did they not go public during the pandemic? Wasn't that in? I might be remembering something else. Anyway,
Yeah.
3 years ago
Yeah.
is a long time ago now. But yeah.
Yeah. I'm just half joking, about the way our world is right now. It's fascinating.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Uber and Lyft tanked during the pandemic. I was like, dude, we should buy some of this stuff. Uber and Lyft went to nothing. It was crazy.
I knew Lyft. I was like, I should buy into Lyft when GM bought like 12% of the
Oh,
company. I was
yeah.
like, oh, they know what's happening,
It's
but I
funny
didn't
stuff.
buy. I should have.
Yeah.
We got some comments here. Let's
Yeah. I
get
want
back.
to read.
Mark says, I wish I took business in college instead of biology, learning as much as I can now. I don't know if the business in college would help you. Sorry, said it. It would help some.
I feel like I have a pretty decent business acumen. I think that's the word. And I didn't
Mhm.
even go to college. So there.
If I went to college, I would know if acumen is the word.
Right. Yeah. I just like to be corrected by my friends and then I'm smarter from that point on. That's all.
I
And
haven't
I
been
went
to
to
college, but
college brief
I've
time.
helped write a curriculum for a college course. I've been
Listen,
invited
man.
back to the university to speak to the college students,
Yep.
which I'll probably not get invited back.
Because you
Anyways, that's
told
fine.
them they don't need college.
They asked me what's the biggest thing standing in between them and becoming successful as business owners, and I said student loan debt.
You're not lying.
I was like,
You're not lying. Go out there, get beat up a little, make some bad investments. You'll learn about investing. There you
I
go.
shared this with you. I was like, and I shared it with them. I was like, hey, look, the mountaintop is you're healthy, you're debt free, you got all kinds of options in front of you. Like that's where everybody wants to get in life, right? Debt free and
Yeah.
healthy. I was like, that's what you are when you start college. And then you spend the next 4 to 5 years going as far down the mountain as you can, getting unhealthy, doing things that you're going to regret, morally, and accumulating a ton of debt that you can't file bankruptcy on. That's federally protected. It's like you just spend your 4 to 5 years just running down the mountain as far as you can to spend the next 50 years trying to climb back up to where you started.
Yeah. I never had any student debt. I don't know what it feels like to have that burden, but I've
Mhm.
heard some of the numbers that certain people have on their plate, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars in some
Yeah.
cases. And that just seems so unreasonable. You know how hard it is to make $100,000? Like,
Well,
and
to
you
make
have
an
to pay
extra 100,000 on
an
top of what it takes
extra.
to live. Yeah, it's not just 100, it's an extra
And those
100.
aren't interest-free loans, are they? I'm not
No,
sure.
they're not interest free. No, they certainly have interest, but you can defer forbearance, you can do income repayment plan, but it never goes away. Eventually you have to pay. And that's
Yeah.
why now it's a political, dangle that, hey, we'll forgive it. And they'll never actually do that as long as it gets people elected. Because the moment they do it, they can't use it to get elected anymore. So,
HH says 100% debt-free and healthy is the dream. That is the dream.
but that's how our kids are starting. Let's have them stay towards the top of the mountain instead of using
Yeah.
the university as a reason to run down it.
Diorama, what are you saying here? He said they asked to speak about Marvel or reality. Who is they and what are we talking
Ooh, I missed
about?
something. Let me catch up here.
Please, please, please. I want to as well.
Bum, bum, bum. Kimmy's and Poindexter's. Wow, I got way behind. Okay.
Love that reference, my man.
There are certain categories of collectibles that are protected in a way. And
I agree with that. I would love to open that up and talk about it. Let's
so,
talk about it.
so you referenced the falling knife. I think he's saying there's some that won't hit zero. Is that what he's saying?
I completely agree with that. Like an entire generation of love and passion and nostalgia would have to drop out for certain things to go to zero, you
Right.
know? So, like, okay, an AF-15 is not going to zero. Bet
No,
against me.
I mean, here's the only way that happens. There's no food. We're all starving.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's when bread, outweighs value wise of, gold, right? Um, Swish Rip says once the stock is gone, it's gone, and you can lug the collectible around for another 30 years and see what happens.
Hey, that's true. In the 90s,
Not
collectibles, a lot of
gone.
them went to zero, but 30 years later, some of them rebounded nicely, and that it took 30 years.
Yeah. I heard this the other day, and I thought it was really good. And I haven't really unpacked the thought, but it basically said that the market. I'm not going to say this as well as I want to. So somebody who knows the quote or can get the quote, put it in the comments. But that the market, a healthy market, is naturally trying to inflict as much pain as possible on the most possible people.
What?
The market is trying to inflict as much pain as possible on the most possible people, meaning not everyone gets to make money. Not
Oh,
everyone
right.
gets to win. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, yeah. A lot of times you say things and they're so beautiful and so articulate, but they're poetic. And I need to hear a poem a few times before, you know? Yeah.
And I'm not even sure I'm saying it correctly. So that the market wants to inflict the most pain on the most possible people, on as many people as possible,
What
right?
does that mean? I don't understand why that's a saying or what that's actually trying to
It's
translate.
that it's not naturally trying to have everyone make money and everyone do well. It's actually trying to do the opposite, and you got to fight against it. The
Mm,
simplistic way for me to think of it is like the tilling the ground. Okay. The first industry was farming, right? You with me?
hmm Yeah.
Well, what do you got to do to farm? You got to fight back the weeds, the thorns. You got to unearth the rocks, It's not just naturally fertile and it automatically grows. Like you actually
You're
got to
not going to start
work.
winning right away. Yeah.
You've got to go work.
Yeah.
And so that the market is a healthy market's naturally that way, right? I don't
Bad
see.
Wizard says, Alex, what is capitalism? Southern Hype Collect says, other than the scripting and the cheesy lines, it's directed well. That pretty much is sums it up nicely. It was surprisingly well done. But yeah, some of it was surprisingly cheesy, as expected from the show. Like once you watch it, you're like, oh yeah, that's what the show is. It makes sense.
did the university ask Jeff to speak about Marvel or the realtor business? It was more banking for me. I'm not a realtor, but yeah, it was real estate related. And twice this week, someone tagged my Spidey Hits Instagram in a professional post, and I'm kind of freaking out about it because I didn't want that to happen.
That's fascinating.
Yep.
What did Marvelous Cards here say? In most cases, it
Wait,
seems
that's not it.
collectibles rise with inflation as the dollar loses its purchasing power. Of course, collectibles have differences with liquidity and how fast you can find the right buyer. Correct. And we talk about this because in recent years, collectibles have been more easily appreciated as an alternate asset class, an alternative asset class, alternate asset class. And in that case, where somebody younger, somebody that thinks gold is boring, somebody that doesn't like commodities, it's not really part of the market, like the corporate
Or
market,
they don't understand it.
or they, yeah, perhaps that they might turn to what they understand and love, a collectible, and
Correct.
respect it as an alternate investment, and in which case we would call it a hedge against inflation, where a traditional investor would look at gold as that. And even and so a collectible is even like for now people look at Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation. These sorts of things, alternate asset classes, certain comic books and certain cards and vintage toys have become that, and we kind of hold them up. We do, and I believe in them that way as well.
As an asset class? Is that what you mean?
As an alternate asset class, yeah, like if the dollar's weak, or no, if there's just fear in the market, and we're coming off the back of the comic book market declining after a boom because it's correcting or whatever, and then
Mm-hmm.
first the economy goes bad and then people get scared and they start selling off their AF-15s, I might enter into an AF-15 at that time,
Mm-hmm.
because to me at that point, oh, this is kind of safer than it was a year ago, right? So I'm looking at it as if I'm buying a $30,000 comic book, there is not any part of me that is not thinking of what the long-term investability of it is. I will not buy anything just to make my insides feel good for
Mm-hmm.
$30,000. There's no way. It has to
Right.
make sense on paper, and I have to believe, even if I'm wrong, I have to believe myself that it is a good investment, or else I am not engaging with that thing. It's too much money. It's way too much money.
Hmm. I think
$300, I'll spend it. 30 grand, no.
Yeah, I think that one thing you're seeing right now is America's buying power and people's ability to make purchases is really, really tightening up significantly. I think you and I talked about this offline. I can't
I
remember if
think
we
we
talked
did.
about it on camera, but
I think it was offline, actually.
yeah. So the conversation, or what I'm seeing from a financial standpoint, that I think feeds back into collectibles is, through 2020, our age group is, if you were to scale out the how people's incomes trend over their life, the
Mm-hmm.
largest percentage jump is typically from 30 to 40.
Okay.
It peaks in the 50s and 60s, but the jump, the percentage jump over a 10-year period, the largest is from 30 to 40, from what
Okay.
I understand. And
Mm-hmm.
so we're entering into that, you know, late 30s, 40s in 2020, right? And all this money gets pushed into the system. And people are making money in ways that we never dreamed of, crypto being one of those, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so all of a sudden, there's all this extra money that you can use to spend, and you've got nowhere to go. So you start buying your childhood online. That's
Yeah.
what people are doing. We all know the story, right?
Yeah.
And on top of
A
that,
lot
what
of us
happened?
lived it. Yeah.
We lived it. But here's the other thing that happened. The way we interact with our money, the frequency we interact with it, the way in which we engage in spending it all changed as well. And what I mean
Yeah.
is I don't know that like we truly understand incrementally how much more we shop online.
Yeah. Changed.
Like the trip to the store for many of us is the rare shopping experience.
I can speak to that for sure. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like my wife does, she buys groceries online, they're delivered to her. Like,
Yeah. A lot of people made that transition. Absolutely.
you know, and so now the ability and frequency of spending is at your fingertips at all times. You're always at the store now on your
Hmm.
phone.
Hmm. Hmm.
You're always being advertised to now. And even though it may not, you may not actually be able to like say, oh yeah, I'm not spending more, but you actually are. And well, whatever period of time from 2020 to 2022, a lot of America had upwards of 30% savings. It was one of the highest savings periods in our country's history.
Yeah.
And which made sense. We had 40% more dollars in this system as well.
And we were
And
going
then
nowhere.
right. And now that's being zapped out of the system. And I know that sounds weird, but just follow the logic here. And we have fewer dollars and our buying power is less because of inflation as well. But our spending habits are still there. So what do we start doing? We just say, well, I'll just use this credit card.
Go into debt.
I'll just, I'm used to making money now. I can figure this out. And some people, that's also what's happening with the way that they shop for collectibles, right? And what's happened is we're now at that point where savings has now dropped to about 3% and people are at the end of their credit limits, meaning the bank's not going to give them any more credit to spend. And so when those people start looking around for what to sell, what's the first things they sell? It's going to be collectibles. It's not going to be their car to get back and forth to work. It's not going to be their house that they live in that they refinance at 3% during COVID. It's not going to be those tangible, type of assets. I don't know. Maybe they sell stocks of their 401k before they sell collectibles. Maybe. I don't know.
If
But
they have stocks, if they have,
if they
you
have
know,
it. So I think that's what's happening. So, and I think we're there. I think we're at that point where, you know, people don't have the ability to spend, and you're going to see more collectibles come up for sale that you thought were never going to be for sale.
it's
There's going to be a
possible.
period of buying, especially when Marvel Masterpieces comes out, because people are going to be like, I don't have any credit. I don't have any money. I'm not speaking for everybody. I'm just saying in the grand scheme of things. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I'll buy the stuff that you guys are selling to buy masterpieces.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, you're absolutely right. I was really hooked on Peyton's comment here, because we talk about this, and I love how insightful this is. And he said something else that's very insightful as well prior. He says it's all about how you control your fear in a good way. And he was talking about buying when people are panic selling, and Mark L was agreeing to that. And we talk about this, right? So when you're holding something, or when you're looking to buy something, you want to get into something that's running up, right? You're excited, everyone's excited. It's the fear of missing out that makes you make the bad purchase. Buying anything that's run up is pretty much not the wisest thing to do. It's a bad idea in most cases, right? Because then enthusiasm runs out, and people that were smarter than the buyers, they're selling to the buyers, and they'll continue to sell until they're out of a point where they're profitable. That's when it'll stop, it'll find a floor. In any case, fear makes you buy because you think, oh my gosh, it's going to go double from here. It's going to the moon. I'll never get it again, blah, blah, blah. You have to control your fear. And then on the way down, if you're holding something, fear makes you sell, right? So doing the opposite of what your natural sort of condition is the formula to win. It doesn't win all the time, but if you can practice that over time, you're going to win. And so there's also a second part of that. You have to have done something smart prior to have the capital that allows you to take advantage of the fear that the masses are displaying. If everyone is selling out of panic, well, it's no good to you to know that you should buy if you don't have money to buy it. So you
Mhm.
would have had to have prepared for that moment. And alternatively, when something's running up, to take advantage of everyone else's fear of missing out, you had to have already owned the thing to sell it into it. Saying what you should do makes no one any money. You have to have been prepared already in smart ways to make smart decisions when everyone else is making the easy decision or
Right.
the emotional decision. So Peyton, very insightful. We talk about that often, and that is the formula for success.
So how can we, from a bringing value to the 74 people that are listening right now, how can we help possibly have them in that cycle that has them buying the item when people are selling it and then selling the item when people are buying it?
I think one good way to prepare yourself for that, because this is just one, there's plenty of good ways. One
Mm-hmm.
quick idea is, if you buy something that you believe in at a price point that you could afford to own it,
Mm-hmm.
meaning a life event in the near future won't force you to sell it, well, that's one good way to be prepared for a time where it's time to sell it, because you can withstand the dip.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't withstand the dip, if you are going to have to exit something that you own in order to pay a bill, you're actually not setting yourself up for when the time is right to sell it. If
Mm-hmm.
you could afford to own it and it's something that you truly believe in, and you're intelligent enough to pick something good over time, you will likely find yourself in a scenario where it's worth more than you paid, and then you're prepared to sell it. But you have to be able to hold it. You'll see, this will resonate with you. I mean, all of this resonates with you, but property, right? I'm not saying collectible is property. Real
Mm-hmm.
estate is real estate. It's very hard to compare that to anything else. But when you buy a house for $800,000, California numbers, and that's even low for California. But when you buy a house for $800,000 and then the market dips to 500,000, well, if you're still in a position to afford your mortgage, you don't have to sell that house. And if you hold it for the 10 or 15 years that it takes for the cycle to be at a new high again, you can sell it. But you were prepared financially because you had a job that allowed you to maintain that mortgage. If you could maintain that mortgage, who cares what the paper value is? Who
Right.
cares? It's not a realized loss.
Mm-hmm.
So being in a position in life where you can afford to hold things that are losses on paper will set you up for the moment where you can sell them for a realized gain. So I think that's one trick. Holding is
Mm-hmm.
one trick. You know,
Yeah, I agree. And then, you know, if you can hold long enough, even if you bought while prices were up, you can
you
still
might find
win.
yourself in
But
that second end of the cycle. Yeah.
it's funny when I used to be involved in the buying and selling of real estate, where now I'm on the finance side of things. Um, People say, "Is it a good deal?" And I go, "Hey, it depends on how you got in it." you know, it, Otherwise, I don't know. Like, because then when are you going to exit? You know, real
Yeah.
estate's,
Yeah.
unless you transform the house, isn't typically a quick flip. But how you got in is important. Hey, look at this. We got Eric Groves here,
Eric Grove, what up?
my bud. How's it going, Eric? Um, crack, crack, Captain
Captain
Crockpot.
Crockpot.
I can. Sorry, if you knew where I grew up, you know why I keep saying crack pipe. Um, so talk about how people with poor credit now get better mortgage rates. I can actually talk about that. So without boring everybody real quick, there's something called loan level price adjustments, LLPAs. You have an organization called FHFA. FHFA is controlled by Congress. They then control Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and tell Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac what they can do to make sure that housing happens, financing for housing happens in a way that strengthens our economy. They and part of that is determining what pricing is based on risk factors in the loan, pricing being for interest rates. You don't get just quoted one rate, you get quoted a price of rates, and then that cost for that rate is adjusted based on the risk of the loan. Part of that risk is credit score. To make housing more affordable for people who can least afford it, Congress through FHFA has told Fannie and Freddie they now have to give better pricing for people with lower credit scores. That does not mean, despite what you may be hearing on TV and in people's Facebook feeds and blah, 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 that does not mean that with a lower credit score, you'll get a better interest rate. It just means it won't be, their price for that rate will not be as painful as it once was for people with low credit scores. And the incentive or the benefit of having a higher credit score won't be as good as it once was, but it's still better for you to have a higher credit score and a higher down payment. There you go. That's my quick answer.
Nice.
I'm not saying I like it, but that's just the truth about it.
What Dave said. Back in the game comics, Rohan, what's going on? Coins A to Z. Very nice to see you. Good
Hey, buddy.
evening. Zen says, I never plan to sell anything I'm buying. My PC is all for me until I expire. May you have a long, long life, my friend. Even during hard times, I don't ever think about selling. That market is easier to decide when and what to buy. That makes it easier. Yeah, so that's a different conversation, right? I mean, it's the same conversation, but yeah, like you said, you're never making the decision about when to sell, so you don't care. Your value in what you're doing is the satisfaction. You are feeding your soul. That is your objective. And so you're going to win because you're winning by doing what you want. You know, your idea of winning is the investment appreciating inside you. The idea of somebody looking to make money off of something they like, they have to add that extra layer. So you're in a great place because you're playing the game by your rules, my friend. There's no losing for you. Point blank, period.
So Andrew follows that up with patience is such an important tool financially and otherwise. It's not discussed enough as a valuable asset.
I mean, dude, yeah, you're so right. And the examples are everywhere. Look, in 2017, I mean, I don't know if Bitcoin can be compared to everything. Everything has its own like stuff that fuels it and has a part in it. But in 2017, Bitcoin peaked to $20,000. And then for 3 years, it was floating between, 5 and 7, 4 and 7, whatever it was. And then when it woke up, it went to 65. So you needed 3 years of patience to triple your money if you had bought at the top, but it happened.
Yeah, but the psychology is so interesting because when it got to 50, the people I knew that owned full coins were like, it's going to go to 100. It's going to go to 100.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm watching it get to 60 and I'm going, I'm selling what little bit I have. How are you not? Like for me, I this maybe I'm wrong, but I'm like, I have a moral obligation to sell at 10x.
That's a good rule. It doesn't matter if you get a 20 out of it. Hypothetically, 10 is good money.
Yeah.
That's another thing they talk about. Have a plan. If your plan is to exit at a profit, you have to have the strength to commit to your goal. If
I'm
your goal,
other than my children at 10x, I'm selling it.
Whatever your personal plan is, you have to have the wherewithal and the conviction to stick to it. If you invest 1,000 into something and you say, hey, when this is worth 2,000, I want out. Well, this is what's going to happen. If you get to 2,000 too quickly, all of your internals are going to say, this is going to 3,000. Oh my gosh, I could triple my money. I can't sell it. You have to stick to your plan and you will not lose if you stick to your plan. Don't make your 2x and then cry when someone else makes a 3x. Celebrate your 2x, period. That's tough though, but that's what you got to do.
He said, hopefully the kids are at least 11x. The kids are not for sale. Other than the kids, 10x, you're out. Manu, at 10x, you're out. But you were expensive to start with, so you're okay.
Who said the value? Yes. Coins A to Z. Value can mean different things to different people. I dig that. Yeah, and that's really important, right? Like, if you're not in it for the money, your value is entirely different proposition. Exactly. Oh, Peyton's headed to sleep. He said, good night, guys. I'll be headed off to bed. It was nice chatting with you guys, and thank you for joining in Dad's birthday. Happy birthday, Chris. Thank you very much, Peyton. I hope you and the family have a wonderful night. Thanks for hanging. And thanks for the great input in the conversation.
Absolutely. Happiest of birthdays to Chris. Marvelous Car says, that's why I love all the 1966 pre-90s stuff.
I do too. Someone offered me a box of 1966 sealed. I'm not going to talk about the price.
Recently?
Yeah, I declined.
It must have been expensive.
Too much for me.
I'm a guess price. 1966 box.
I'm not going to confirm nor deny.
No, you don't have to confirm or deny, but I'm just, Is it useful for me to
Coins
do
A to
this?
Z, you're saying goodnight to our friend. Or maybe you are saying, if you're
All right.
saying goodnight, Coins A to Z, good night.
Good
Sleep
night,
well.
buddy. So people want around $4,000 for the stickers in 76. So if it's 19 sealed, like is the seal like broken and cracked?
I didn't actually see it. I was offered it. I
Yeah.
didn't see it. It didn't get that far because my first question was, my interest is based on the price.
And they were like, I want 15K.
They said a number and I said, I'm not that guy. It is a friend of ours, I just don't want to,
Yeah,
don't
don't
want
do
to
that.
expose too much
Don't
right
do
now.
that.
Yeah.
Manu, you're killing it tonight. Killed the coffee coming
Oh, thanks, my man. I'm out of coffee. Oh, man.
in. That's me. I'm like sitting here. I've got one swallow left. Coins A to Z. So there are medals and coins and cards I own that I value solely because they're beautiful, not for the dollar value, monetary
Yeah,
value.
sure.
No, I was just saying night to the other people.
That's cool. I'm glad you're still with us.
Oh, this is great. Alberto says, I got to ask Justin, what's your opinion on the change of Unbound character reveal an hour before release? I think it's brilliant. And if it was me, I wouldn't even announce the character.
They made a change? I didn't even know they did that.
Yeah. So let's just give full context. So after the server overwhelmed whatever with Upper Deck with Spider Gwen, they normally announce on Saturday what is going to be the character to be purchased on Monday. And they ended up booting the Spider Gwen till Thursday, and then they did it, and they said this is not going to count towards the achievement. And then they never announced and didn't tell us that they were delaying the announcement. They just never announced the next character, and then they revealed it an hour before the release on Monday, so that it doesn't turn into a weekend full of hype and everyone getting in on when to be there and what to do. I like it a lot, and I actually wouldn't mind it if they didn't even announce what the character was going to be, so that you're kind of getting a surprise. You're buying the pack and you're figuring out what you're getting. I kind of like that. But anyways, I think it's a great idea. I think it's good for Upper Deck to do that. Did you leave, Manu?
It's nighttime.
He said, "Oh, the West Coast Dave, nice. I like it. It's a good look." West Coast Dave said he tried to sell that box to you for $5 million, but you wouldn't budge past 4.
I'm blinking twice because that's true.
He said, so happy about Unbound change. I still need foil Ghost Spider. He has to sign Minotaur. Minotaur was the next character. And you're like, who? That's right, Minotaur. But I think they just wanted to give the servers a break. So they went with like the least popular character. Hey, Mark, if
You
you
didn't give
value
your box price guess.
Oh, I kind of did. I said 15K.
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah. Right. You did say that.
I'm just going high on purpose. I would never pay that.
I'm high on purpose too. I mean, wait, what?
If you're out there and you're listening, I will never pay that.
Yeah.
But I hope you get all the money in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. FC said, we're all buying Unbound packs regardless of character. Exactly. So don't add the hype to it, and don't add the people who really don't want it to try to flip it coming into it. They're just, just release it and we buy it, open it, and we're like, oh, it's that character.
Yeah.
I like that. So I did buy. So I bought all the Gwens. I bought the base, the foil, the rainbow foil, the same thing, the canvas, and the auto, and I've already got them out to CGC to get graded, thanks to ComC.
Whoa, efficiency.
Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't have to do the shipping. I just hit the button. Eric Grove says, Justin, do you know the release dates for sets this year? Sorry if that's a loaded question. I can tell you what Dave and Adam says, so let's do that. We'll pull up some of those non-sports. And I'll share my screen. And boom. Let's see if we got
the your audio.
Mine?
Clicked a little. Okay, it's good.
Okay. Well, this is all their stuff. Anybody want a box of 2017 Flare Ultra Spider-Man for 6,000?
Take it. I'll take it.
Marvel Beginnings for 1,000. That's nuts. Let's see. Black Diamond for 1,200.
I think I'm missing something.
All right, that's none of the pre-orders. I'm gonna get to the pre-order screen.
Remember that Venom Gold Bullion PSA 10 that I said sold for like $65, and then it was brought to my attention that the case was cracked, and I was like, "You're right." Well, now another one of those sold with not a cracked case, and it sold for 90, which isn't too much more than 65.
No,
but not. There you go, $100, $100.
Marvel Beginnings says May 31st. Allure says May 26th. All this year. Loki says May 31st. So I actually got a message that says confirmed. Let me pull it up.
Gabriel Nick says, "I love the CGC slabs. They're pretty, aren't they?"
Yeah, they are. May 17th. Let's see. Anybody want Eternals? It's got a May 17th release date. Eternals. What If says July 31st. This says Eternals May 15th. So there you go. Allegiance Avengers versus X-Men June 28th. And that's it. Still no masterpieces.
One day.
Let's see what our questions we got here. I don't know who this is. Brendan's
Dario Auger, head of. I don't know any of the words in that sentence. Brendan, way to throw a curveball at me. What is happening
there? Mark says sounds like the smarter move versus buying the packs. Oh, you're talking about for Gwen? I mean, it was still expensive. I think I got the autos and the all the parallels, the base and parallels for $350.
Kev, I won't avoid that comment. I just don't know what her face looks like in the card. Kev says, his words, Gwen's face busted, changed my mind. Right? So he's saying the face looks terrible on the card. I'd have to see it. I have no idea. Then he said, "Are you avoid?" Like he said, no comment. I wouldn't avoid that. I wouldn't skirt that. I just don't know what it looks like.
Let's pull it up real quick.
Wait, was the Gwen cards the chicken legs, the chicken wing legs?
I don't get it. I think it's.
I didn't have a problem with Gwen's face on that card. I didn't like the proportion of her leg.
Here, we'll have it pulled up in a second.
Ryan says I hit 2 autos that day.
Wow. That's incredible.
Mark, I used to love chicken wings. I used to love chicken wings.
That face is busted?
I wouldn't say that face is busted, but the legs are weird. The lower leg. It's got such a lower. And then
it's this part of the leg here.
And yeah,
that's like how my leg is. It just that part of the leg isn't long enough.
Well, we expect Spider-Gwen to not look exactly like you, Justin. I'm sorry,
Hold on.
Spider-Gwen.
Doesn't work?
Perfect. All right. Casted. Actually, that card looks exactly like you. You look oddly like Emma Stone when you put your hood on. No, because Venom said it's the Emma Stone face over there. And it does look like Emma Stone. Venom Collector, what up? Yeah, Mark, I went vegetarian. That is exactly right. I did not lose my appreciation for the taste of it. I just lost my appreciation for eating animals. I went vegetarian. What?
Just the way you said it.
I mean, it's my truth. What do you want from me? I couldn't do it anymore. I was like gagging every time I would eat a delicious burger. So I stopped. It's been 4 years now. I'm committed.
Mark says, beginnings or premiere, not sure which one I'm going to like more. Price-wise, you're going to like beginnings because I think premiere is going to be expensive and it's going to be a quick rip. You're going to get 5 cards and you're done. That's it.
Whoa.
Zen says, I'm going to go on a limb and say it'll be released in 2023. I don't know what he's referring to. Maybe masterpieces.
Forest Moon, what's up? You know which Unbound was like my favorite so far is
What's
that
that?
Mary Jane.
Yeah, Mary Jane was great. Also sent Mary Jane's auto to get graded.
Ooh, nice. That's gonna
Yeah.
look really great in a CGC case.
She's lacking booty. What? Sorry, I
Oh, she's
didn't
lacking.
read it before I put it up there.
Yeah, I was in somebody's chat on YouTube the other day, and I said something super honest, right? And they were just clicking through it, and they clicked, and they know me, but as soon as like the guy read what I wrote, he removed it right away because it was like, honest. And I'm like, oh, so you're running one of those chats where you're not gonna let me tell the truth? Okay, fine. I
Fine.
gotta
Who
go.
was it?
And I exited the video. I won't throw anyone
Oh,
under the
okay.
bus.
I thought you were saying you were a guest on the video, like
No,
you
no, no.
were
I
like
was
live.
watching one of our friends' videos and they were keeping it a certain tone. And I said the truth about something. And they didn't realize they'd put it on the screen. And I saw his eyes light up and he removed it. And I was like, well, I'm leaving too then because I don't care about the fluff that you're going to spatter on this episode. If it's
Gosh.
not real, I'll go watch a scripted thing somewhere.
I'll go watch the Golden Show.
Yeah, well, the
Um,
Golden's more real than that. Anyway, yeah, but yeah, exactly.
Justin, do you think they pair a popular character sketch with an unpopular character so people buy more? Yes, and it worked. I bought like 11 Minotaurs trying to get the Jane Foster sketch, and it didn't work. So now I got 11 Minotaurs. You want one?
Minotaurs.
That was on Unbound.
Is that a little ancient horse?
It's more like a bull, but yeah.
Okay, I knew it was something. I've heard the word.
Minotaur is what you're thinking.
Oh, I am. Yeah. It's like a person combined with a horse.
Yeah, I'll show you what it was. Give me a second.
Yeah.
That way you and
I would
others.
and my second favorite, which actually is my first favorite because I own it, thanks to RMS, he gave it to me as a gift, the Carnage from Unbound. I have the shiny Carnage.
Oh yeah, it's great. That's actually one of the
Yeah.
better Carnages that's been released in a long time.
Oh, Markel might be right. He said, "Isn't that a centaur?" Could be.
Centaur, yeah.
Okay, you're talking about this. I'm talking about the centaur thing. Yes,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, my Greek and Roman mythology needs some work.
Yeah. Yeah. I read the Iliad and the Odyssey, but it was 30 years ago. Don't remember much of it. I mean, I remember some of
Hold
it,
on,
but
wait a minute.
I get things wrong.
They
Yes.
forced you to read Iliad and the Odyssey.
They sort of did, but I also took an interest in it because I had a great relationship with my teacher who was super passionate about it, Mr. Daniel Archuleta, one of the greatest people in my life.
Wait a minute.
And
Daniel Archuleta was on American Idol, wasn't he?
that sounds familiar, but that's not who I'm talking about. No, I'm talking about Mr. Archuleta, an amazing human being, and he loved Greek mythology and so on and so forth. And the Iliad and the Odyssey was a big part of my life for many, many years. I even wrote a song not quoting, but referencing, things like Helen of Troy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Listen,
Oh, that's cool.
listen. Very young, little song about girls, right? I'm not going to recite all of it. Let me try to remember if I can. Hold on.
Do it.
More beautiful than Helen of Troy. 1,000 ships will sail and deploy. If you so much as touch a hair on her head, I'll tear you to shreds. Right? So listen.
Man. Oh,
More
sorry.
beautiful than no, it's the same thing, but I just want to go over it again. More beautiful than Helen of Troy, right? The multi-syllables. 1,000 ships will sail and deploy because Helen was the face that launched 1,000 ships.
Yeah.
1,000 ships will sail and deploy. You so much as touch a hair on her head, I tear you to shreds. I used to do the multi-syllable things. My thing.
Oh man, that was awesome.
Anyway, yeah, thanks. We sang today and we rapped today. Look at this episode.
Yeah, you rapped. I don't know that we say we sang. We kind of.
I can't sing, so I could
spoke
never
the
call
words
it
in a kind of a singing way.
That's funny.
Anybody want 4 Minotaurs for 1 Mary Jane? What's up, High State?
Who said that? Marvelous. Oh, this Marvelous Beaver.
Yeah,
what's up?
He's back. Jordan says, "Wonder if Cable's going to be in the new Premiere set. Currently have the most of Cable cars from previous Premiere sets. Trying to rainbow it all for PC. I don't know. I can tell you that. Let me see. Is that true?
It was fun when Justin rapped HH. It's funny.
Yeah.
He's memorized all of the Tupac songs.
Not all of them. Just a few of them. I think Cable's in some upcoming sets from what I've seen. I think so. A new next car you buy, please get a custom red and black paint job and call it Car Nudge.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny. Somebody did do a Venom job on a car where it's wrapped and it's a big Venom car, but I forgot what car it was. And then there's a very famous Batman Lamborghini, which makes perfect sense because the Aventadors are the Batmobile.
All right. So if you're here and you're listening to this show, and or if you listen to the replay and you get to 2 hours and 20 minutes, remember the time that Justin said there's a set coming out with an incredible black cat card. It's going to be great. Now, last time I said that, do you remember what happened?
No.
Upper Deck gave us an image of a black cat card in Spider-Man
And
Metal
then
didn't change it.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's going to happen this time. Let me just put it that way.
Smash, boop, touch the like button. West Coast. Oh yeah, I gotta hit like. What's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Wait, I'm not subscribed to this channel? Just joking. I'll play it. Stop it, Justin. I'm teasing. Justin, stop. What is happening here? Guys, is this just me? What? I was getting scared.
I had to make you feel uncomfortable. You better be subscribed.
I am, dude. I'm subscribed. Come on.
The doctor said I had a stroke. If it looks like a stroke, it's probably a stroke.
This is the second time he said that on the show.
I just love. I say it all the time. My wife, when I get all fumbled, that's like the way I get myself back together. As I say that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, like beep. That's all, folks.
Beep. Oh, I know the reference. Yeah.
Like
wait, that was the rabbit.
Porky Pig, right?
Oh, that was Porky Pig, not Bugs Bunny.
What do I know? I called Donald Duck Daffy Duck, so I lost all my cred. Man. Do you think that Black Diamond could get to $3,000 a box in 5 years? That's a
Justin,
great question.
Keep everyone entertained. I'll be back in a moment.
Okay, take your time. I think it's possible. I don't like it, but when you have actor autos and those actors are now starting to phase out of being in the movies, and they may not be in future releases, like maybe that is true. And the one thing about that Black Diamond release is that's going to be for a lot of those big actors from the MCU, that's going to be the first time they were in a set with autos, from what I understand. So I think Black Diamond is going to be important for a long time, and that those boxes could get expensive. Well, they're already expensive, but $3,000 in 5 years. You back?
I am here.
Have you ever watched my opening of Black Diamond? I got 2 of them. Well, maybe more than that, but 2.
When were they?
Open. Oh, that was early 2021. So that would have been May, June 2021.
No, perhaps not, because your early 2021 stuff had to have been like the cards that I liked. That's why I would have found the videos, because I wasn't an avid watcher of anyone's videos. Like I wasn't like, oh, this is my channel, I'm going to watch everything here. I wasn't that person.
Right.
Yeah.
They're fun rip. I bought those boxes for like 300 something bucks a piece, and I wish I could still get them for that price, but can't.
That's Kat said, Manu's so good with economics class, but terrible with cartoon references. And I'm fine with that, because the economics class has done more for me than the cartoons have. Well, I don't know if that's true, actually, because I kind of combined the two.
As soon as you said it didn't land well over here.
As soon as I heard it, I was like, wait, they work hand in hand for me, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Your desire to learn more about the economics of things is so that you can have more of your collectible things.
So I can navigate the stuff that I like in a way that's beneficial in multiple ways. Because I can't just own things I love. I can't just do that. I
Mm-hmm.
am not as pure as Zen is in that objective. Zen is like, no, I just want the stuff I love. I don't care about nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I want the stuff I love, and then I also want to know that there's equity in it. That's just how I operate. Do you remember Easy Manu? You're on the Marvel channel. I know. I can't believe they still let me show up here.
No.
You know, and do you remember the like Tasmanian Devil and Bugs Bunny shirts where when like groups like who were the two kids that used to wear the backwards baggy jeans
Run
and the
DMC?
jersey?
No, not Run
No,
DMC.
not Run. No,
Crisscross.
not Run DMC. Yeah, Crisscross.
Crisscross.
Run DMC was Adidas
Yeah. No, no, no. I
tracksuits,
don't know
right?
why that came out. I had a
No,
stroke
but you
again.
had it. So do you remember the shirts, the licensed shirts with Tasmanian Devil and Bugs Bunny wearing the crisscross outfits?
The
The
overalls.
nostalgia,
Yeah.
the overalls and all of that. Dude, if I find those shirts, that's all I'm going to be wearing on this channel.
Let's see here.
Those were so,
There it is.
they're so great.
Can I do
They
this?
probably cost hundreds of dollars now if people sell them because that is vintage nostalgia at its finest.
All right. So I think I can do this. Just give me 1 second here. No, don't do that. Go switch accounts.
The Hood, Bugs, and Taz, absolutely. I've got some great, great memories surrounding those times. Marvelous Card says nothing wrong with letting the hobby fund the hobby. That's what's keeping the hobby strong. The circle of life, collectibles, and trading. It just works. Absolutely. And I would rather be in that circle than a
Mm-hmm.
circle where things are exchanged for profit that I don't care about. I want to be where I love it and get to trade, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And the hat, the way you have it, Manu. Yeah, I think actually backwards hats, there were backwards snapbacks in that era. I think, yeah, definitely right. Definitely right.
Where is this?
Oh, and T Beer Phil, what up?
I'm looking for something. Give me a second.
Sure. I'm catching up on some
Ah,
comments.
dang it. It doesn't exist here. So I really thought that I had a video with my brother wearing that Bugs Bunny shirt that you're referring to.
No way. Okay,
Yeah, I
whenever
mean,
you find it, I'd love to see it. Yeah,
well, let me say it a better way. I know I have it.
sure.
And hold on, this may make a sound. Give me just a second. Let me come on. All
Oh,
right.
West Coast said, based on your story, I enjoyed your story today. And Justin did as well. He said, Justin, or
Yeah,
Dave did as well. He said, Justin, I read your 7 observations and I love that I am evil in someone else's story. Isn't it nice? You got to be the villain in someone's story. It's not
yeah.
because you're bad, it's because they found a reason to turn you into a villain in their story. And you got to own it. It's fine.
It's now I appreciate you saying that. Um, I've said it this way. I think I've said it early on in the show. We haven't said it much lately. Is like the idea is like not every story needs a bad guy, but I think that a lot of people want to force a bad guy into just about every situation, right? Hold on,
Yeah.
you're laughing at something. Get you.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll talk more. We pulled up some Liefeld art the other day because I was like, "What is this, guys? Why is
Yeah.
Spider-Man wearing wedges?" You know, that could be the reason, man.
But I think
carry on,
just
please.
from but I think just from a personal standpoint, understanding that you could be doing just everything you can to be as a benefit to your family, to others, to hustle, to make money, to provide whatever it is in your world that means. And someone's over there looking at it going, you're doing it wrong. You're actually the problem. And there's nothing you can do to change their experience,
Yeah.
you know? And so it's just, it's learning for me, it's you, right? And so, and part of that's to realize like some people are just not going to like it. Some people are not going to like, in this context, us pushing record and talking about things. They're
Yeah,
gonna,
sure.
why would anybody subject themselves to be live on camera for 3 hours a week, every week? It must be
Wait,
for some negative reason.
did someone say something condescending or sassy
No,
to you
no,
about going
hey,
live?
let me go ahead and say, no one created that post today. That,
Okay.
that's not, that's not directed at anyone. That was just That's something just resonated for me personally.
Oh,
Yeah, he
Mark, I
says,
like that. Oh,
"Oh, let's go." What did he say?
oh, I'll read this here. I've never heard this. He says, "What's the old Shakespeare saying? There's nothing good or bad, only thinking that makes it so." And I've had the thought, but I didn't know that that's something that Shakespeare said.
Yeah, I can't speak to the quote, but
We
yeah, when
just call
you
it perspective. It's all perspective.
stop the Spidey hits, he offended someone. Um, yeah, I think the moment you label something good or bad, you give your power away to it. You know, if
Yeah.
I have a tree right here in my backyard, like you can't, like I'm pointed to it.
Hmm.
I can say that's a good tree. It provides shade here on the hobby room. It helps keep it cool. Or I could go, hey, that's a bad tree. It has a chance to fall in my hobby room and destroy everything. One of them makes me want to spend a lot of money to cut it down.
Yeah.
The other one
Yeah.
makes me thankful for it. And I'm just labeling it. It's still just a tree.
Nice example.
And
Yeah.
so that's what I mean when you give your power away to something. Look, there are very much things in this world that are evil and that are bad that don't need to be happening. We're not talking about
Right. Yeah.
that's not what we're talking about.
No, no, no. There are
But
bad that's bad. It's not like
yeah,
there's certain things that if you choose to look at certain things as good, something wrong, because
yeah,
certain things are bad. But no, we can totally understand what we're saying here. And then Ryan says this was early 90s. I was like 9.
mhm.
Yeah, in that we're of the same, absolutely. And then my brother used to have that shirt. This is T Bear Phil. My brother used to have that shirt. He made me use the pants the way to go to the mall with him. I was small size and had to use a large T-shirt also. Swish says the Mac Daddy. The Mac?
Jump,
I don't even know
jump.
the way to say it, but jump, jump, swish. The
Okay.
Mac Daddy Maca make it. What was it? I don't remember.
All right. You want to see the villain in someone's story?
Yeah,
You may have seen this before. I don't know. This is this is
I did. Did I see this?
hold on, give it a second. Let me get back. Oh, let me go to the big screen. Let's see. Come on, get back. Oh,
Is
there we
that a
go.
goat?
That's me.
Look at you. You're wearing the crisscross pants.
Uh-huh. That's my mama's goat. Jumper. That's the goat she was rescuing instead of coming to my wedding, actually. That's
You're
where my mom.
ripped, bro.
Yeah, I was in pretty decent shape. Let's see. Get away from the goat. Anyway, my brother has that shirt on somewhere, I think, in this
Not at
video.
this age. Oh, this might have been the age,
No,
actually.
no, you're right. I think actually, I think you're right. Let's see. What most of this video is of the goat. Hold
I
on, that
like the
was
goat.
Dustin. Is that it there?
Oh my gosh, is that the shirt? No, wait. No,
No,
this is
he
the
has a white.
age.
Yeah, but he has a white one that I'm thinking about that I was looking for. I don't think.
It's Mac Daddy Maca make ya. Isn't it Mac Daddy? I don't know. It's
Yeah,
been a long time.
I'll
I
have to
haven't
find it
listened to
another
that
day.
song since then. Well, yeah, I'd love to see it. I hope your brother has the shirt, actually.
Yeah, no, he does. I can tell you he doesn't. Brett, that was a long time ago for Justin. You're not wrong.
Yeah, yeah, that
That
was
was
we got
that
a
was the year
flashback
2000.
there.
That was 23 years ago. I was 15, 16, something like that. Are those some Jinkos? Those were probably those were not Jinkos. I only ever owned one pair of Jinkos that were black. But those were like that was more like a skateboarder type style where you had the cargo pants.
Brendan said it. Mac Daddy Maca make ya.
You're still trying to figure out that song.
Yeah, I mean, I was going through the comments.
Oh, can I tell you about the goat? The goat's name was Jumper. My mom loved the goat, and it was a lot of fun. I did not live with my mom at this point in time. I was visiting her in her mobile home there, and that was 2000. In the year 2002, I was getting married, and
More
on the
goat.
day that I married Jamie, she was supposed to show up. The goat was dying. She chose to take it to the vet, and didn't come to the wet. Didn't get to hear me tell Jamie I do, and showed up afterwards smelling like a goat, and yeah, Neither one of my parents were there when I got married, unfortunately.
That's a powerful story, actually.
Yeah, I'm leaving some stuff out, but that's the quick version.
Whoa.
Yep. So William was 5 when Mac Daddy Make You Jump came out. That was my Eminem. Actually, I thought I was Justin Timberlake. That's why my hair looked like the dirty end of a Q-tip.
The dirty end of a Q-tip. Do you use Q-tips?
Yes.
I stopped
You
using
clean your
Q-tips a
ears.
while. I mean, apparently Q-tips are bad for you. They're just pushing stuff into your ear.
Do you believe that? You read it?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense if you're sticking something in, you're pushing something in her.
Hey, Brittany, it's all right. My mom was doing the best she can with what she had to work with. That was it. She loved her goat.
Mark says Manu is not wrong. Let's do a Q-tip poll.
Wait, no. So Mark is a doctor, so there's no poll needed.
Oh, thank you, Mark.
Yeah, this is Dr. Mark LeBlanc, or
I love it.
something like that.
Love it.
I can't remember his last name now.
Yeah. There you go. There
you
go,
how
Justin.
you use it.
You have to push in. There's no avoiding the push in.
That's like if you try to pack your brains. I'm not trying to pack my brains.
So you're cleaning the outer
Yes.
right in there. You're not actually cleaning out your ear. You're just
no, I'm not trying to hurt myself. Yes. See, he says they should not be shoved into your ears. Yes, he's correct.
Yeah.
I'm not banging the drum of my eardrum with it.
So I feel like I still do the part that you do. I just do it with the towel when I'm getting out of the shower.
Okay. Well, at least okay.
Yeah. You know. But I do want to go and get one of those water treatments that people do where they're just pouring water in and like your whole life comes out of your ear and it's weird.
All right. I have a terrible. So I had trouble hearing growing up. Some of it was due to hard wax in my ear. Went to the doctor. I mean, I'm like second grade, and you know how they do it in one ear and then flip you over and do it in the other ear. I thought that they blew water out the other side because the other ear was leaking.
Yeah, that's funny.
As a kid, I was like,
I've never
shot right through my head.
I wanna go do that somewhere.
He said all this Q-tip talk makes me want to listen to Tribe. I have no idea.
Tribe is dope, man. Tribe Called Quest. Tribe Called Quest, a rap group that back in the day I rejected. I was like, that's too nerdy for me.
Ryan, of course he prefers the rich guy ear cleaning.
Ryan, at least Ryan never breaks character, and I can appreciate that.
That sounds like Looney Tunes cartoon. In one ear, out the other. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. I certainly thought that, and I may have told a few of my friends at school and got myself embarrassed.
Get Manu back on economics. That's Cat said. He said, "You know what? I don't know why you give Manu this platform to talk about earwax. Can we get back on track?"
Hey, you know what? What other show can we have 71 people hanging out listening to you talk about what you're talking about, me talk about cleaning our ears with Q-tips all of a sudden?
Yeah, and you know what? We're not at 3 hours yet, but at the 2 hour mark, the purple light goes on. Things are open for discussion. You know, and I sort of there were a couple of things that I wanted to talk about, but like this was like throughout the week, I was like, I want to touch on this, I want to touch on this. And then the enthusiasm surrounding certain topics just kind of faded away. So it wasn't as great as I thought it was, right? And so I'm just like, our Everyday Live says tremendous show. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. This
you still have a trip to tell us about.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
This is big, guys.
All right.
Actually, let's keep it like this. Let's keep it like this.
Oh yeah. No, I thought no, yeah. This is good. So a little story time.
Mm-hmm. Story time with Manu.
Story time with Manu. West Coast, I do have a box to open, but it can't happen today. I have to wait for instructions from our friend Azza. Azza will control the destiny of those sealed products. Oh no, that sealed product. Multiple products are still product.
Yeah.
In the world of cards. So I got a phone call from somebody that Oh man, I'm going to tell the
Okay.
story, but
Hey,
there's
can we
going to
do
be
this
bits
first
that
before you do it? T
yeah,
Bear
yeah.
says I was putting a Crayola in my ear and the tip went in. In the ER, they used a small pump to take it out the tip with water.
Please tell me you were way young when that happened.
All right.
Because
So
he
I
said
have
I was putting a Crayola in my ear, like casually, like, one of those days. I was just putting a crown in my ear, a crayon
I was
or
just
whatever it's
coloring
called.
this inside of my ear green.
I was just coloring it in. I wanted it to match my hat. Come on.
Said just the tip. All right, here, quick story, real quick. Sorry, before you get into yours.
Yeah, yeah, please.
God rest his soul. Olin Corbin. That's right. His name was Olin Corbin. We're in the third grade. I look across the room, and this guy has Elmer glue bottle with the tip in his nose, squeezing it out, the glue.
Why? Why?
And he's already done the other nostril, and he's holding it closed. And then he sets the glue down, and he's like gluing his nostrils shut with Elmer glue.
Mark, that's not advisable, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, this kid was trying to glue his nostril shut with Elmer glue. And
Wow.
yeah, the rest of his life definitely involved chemicals. We won't get into that. But all right, carry on with your story.
Yeah, so there's somebody that I know and they are aware of what I did with the Ultimate Fallout 4, the Kraken Press, the
Mhm.
Ultimate Fallout 4 newsstand, that I cracked the 9.4 and achieved the 9.8. For anyone that hasn't heard about that or isn't aware of that, because that was a few months ago now, that was like the greatest accomplishment in my grading career, right? And it may be my most valuable collectible, in fact.
Mhm.
Um, Probably easily. I don't know. Well, there might be one or two
Sure.
things that contend.
Yeah, let's say,
Anyway,
yeah,
so
define
so in
value
any
like
case,
we talked about earlier.
monetary value. I mean, there was value in the accomplishment,
Hmm.
very much. Like that was super super incredible. And even when I do eventually sell it, there's going to be value in the act of selling it. Like that's an accomplishment. It's going to be my first time having sold something of that value, which to
Right. But
me,
you have another book that you couldn't duplicate.
yeah, I have one that I cannot duplicate. I absolutely cannot duplicate. This one I can duplicate, and I attempted to. So I
Mhm.
got a phone call from someone that was aware of what I had done with the other one, and they presented me an opportunity to try to do it again.
Mhm.
It was a high grade Ultimate Fallout 4 newsstand. But because they were aware the value of the book, and there was quite a large premium on this book, and based on
Mhm.
pictures, it looked promising. It
Like
looked
it could
really
become a
good.
9.8 again with the press.
Yeah, yeah, it could become a 9.8. Like it almost looked identical to mine through the photos. And
Hmm.
I was like, wow. But something told me that I can't be willy-nilly about this acquisition. This was well over $10,000 this book was going to cost me. And so I couldn't just. And I had to I made a decision to fly to Las Vegas where the book was, just to
Mm.
see it. A quick flight in, a quick flight out. I wasn't going to Vegas to do Vegas things, but obviously there's an expense associated with the flight. And I like to be completely independent. I don't like to rely on anybody for anything, and I don't even like waiting around for Uber. So I rented a car, even though I was only going to be there for a couple of hours. So I booked the flight, rent the car, and made arrangements with the gentleman to meet up at a bank, um, because the intent was to, review the book, and if it is what I suspect it might be or hope it might be, pay
Mhm.
him the money and get back on an airplane. Um, and so we'll get back to that in a second.
Mm.
Yeah, and so in any case, I went down to Las Vegas and I inspected the book and I came home without it. Oh, I put up a story the other day, saying I came back without it. And I came back
Oh,
without
we
it
both put
because,
up stories with our feet in the photo. I just realized that.
oh, yeah, feet photos, only feet.
Yeah.
Only feet. Nice.
Only
It's,
feet.
there's a season for everything. And
Uh-huh.
so, I went and I examined the book and I almost was in denial about it because as soon as I first looked at the book, I realized in the first few seconds it wasn't what the pictures,
Oh, wow.
showed, but I
That bad.
still wasn't completely. I didn't want to accept that, so I was a little like, let me look at it in this light.
So you were
Let's
actually
look at it
you were
here.
trying to talk yourself into it.
Just a little bit, just a
Hmm.
little bit. I was like, I want to be absolutely sure before I decline this opportunity, right?
Yeah.
But I spent a good 5 minutes really staring at it, and then another 5 minutes, and then another 5 minutes before I said, you know what, my friend, I appreciate it, but I told you there was a possibility that I would not be going through with this. And
Mm.
obviously, I've showed good faith. I've come out here on my own dime. I have intent to do what I said I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Um,
Are you going to say the
and
other part of that?
no, I did. I
Okay.
did do. I did do something nice for the person, but I won't say exactly what it was. Right?
Yeah. It wasn't what you didn't waste their time.
I did not waste their time. No, and I never want to. But yeah, and so I don't think it's something that most people normally do. But I made sure for the opportunity to hold this book, to make it available just to me, that there was going to be something in it for this gentleman, regardless. And I definitely saw that part through. As soon as I said no, I delivered on my promise, and he had a profitable day regardless, and still has the book. He of course would have liked the amount of money for the book rather than what I gave him, but I still gave him, uh, a thank you for his time.
Hmm.
And but that's the story. And a lot of people responded with, oh, like, they were feeling for me. They were like, oh, I'm so sorry it didn't work out. And to those friends, I have said, and I would like to say, there was no not working out. No matter what happened, the scenario was a victory, because if I had pulled the trigger without making this trip, that would have been the not working out. That
Right.
would have been the unfortunate story, right? Because then I'm screwed. Well, not
Mm.
screwed, but at least in the hole a couple grand, because what the book would have graded would have been worth less than what I would have paid. Um, and it had a shot at making me a little bit of money, but we were looking for a grand slam, of course, right? And
Right.
so the idea of taking the trip was just determining what the right decision was. But the right decision was going to be made. If the book looked like it was supposed to, the right decision was to acquire it and bring it home. And if the book didn't, the right decision was to leave it, say thank you, and go home. So no matter
Hmm.
what, we won. But we have to tackle these opportunities. We have to, and people are like, dude, you won't come do this with me, but you'll go to Vegas. And I look
Oh,
at it
that was
like,
my that was my thought.
people,
Remember?
a few people hit me that way, but this was a work day for me. This was not a trip to Vegas. This
Right.
was a work day. This is where the office was for me on this particular day. Some
Hmm.
days it's eBay, some days it's 8 hours on the phone with a variety of people. Some
Right.
days it's on a flight to go look at the product. And that's what this day was. And I hope more days like that happen. I thought it was exciting. I thought it
Hmm.
was fun. It was a fast-paced, lovely day, and Vegas wasn't sweltering heat that day, which was nice. I thought it was
That
really
is.
funny that I'm in Vegas and I'm driving, like, here's whatever street the strip is, and I'm in my rental and I'm just passing and I look to the left and I'm like, oh, there's what everyone's doing. Goodbye. And I just keep on going. I don't care that I'm in Vegas. I care that I'm where the book is, you know? So
Is
anyway,
that your
that's
is
the
that your
story.
first trip to Vegas?
No, I've been to Vegas so many times. One time I was in Vegas for 1 week, and boy, I don't like Vegas. And I was there for work. It was a convention, and the company that I was with at that time, we
Mhm.
had a booth at the convention, and I think it was like 6 nights in Vegas. Ugh, no,
Right.
no, thank you.
Yeah. We got some comments here. Let's go back here real quick. Force
Yeah,
Moon.
yeah.
Homer Simpson walking by. My ears are burning. Lisa, huh? I wasn't talking about you, Dad. Homer. I wasn't talking about you, Dad. Homer. No, my ears are really burning. I wanted to see them. I wanted to see the inside, so I lit a Q-tip. Stick it in his ear. He lit it up.
What's the
Brittany,
John
this
Wick? You're
one
gonna
hurt.
have to fill me in. Yeah,
I
yeah.
stabbed my eye with a needle once, like an idiot. It hit the white part. I didn't feel the pain, but jumped, and there's still a scar. Oh,
I
but
stabbed my eye with a needle once. It hit the white part. I
yeah,
didn't feel the pain, but I jumped and there's still a scar. I'm glad that it sounds like everything's okay with your eye. And I'm very happy that everything's okay,
he's
because
like
my
getting into
goodness.
sounds. You think it pops like a grape, but it doesn't.
Oh, Captain Crockpot said this to me, and I really appreciate it. And this was also a line from Shakespeare, I think, because his message said it to me. Cowards die many times before their death. The valiant taste of death but once. The valiant taste
Yeah.
death but once. And I really appreciated him saying that, because I was like, no, Manu, you were supposed to go out there. You have to take those kinds of chances. And that means a lot. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Coins A to Z, thank you so much, my friend. What does Mark L mean here when he says you didn't pull a John Wick on him for the picture not matching the real life version? Very nice of you, Manu. What did John Wick do? And before you tell me, I want to say it was not his fault that the pictures didn't match. The level of detail that I go into in person, no pictures can convey what I'm analyzing when I'm with the book. I saw edgeware that no picture would have photographed unless you knew to photograph it. But you have to be as obsessive and ridiculous as me. And people that have shopped with me know that I send you more pictures than you would care to have. And not.
You mean you don't grade through photos?
Yeah, and here you go. It looked like a 9.8 until I got on an airplane. I was like 9.6 at best, which is still hugely valuable. A 9.6 is still like 20K-ish, but that's not what we're doing.
Dave says, I had to do a 5-day event in Vegas. It felt like 4 weeks. I've only been to Vegas once. I had a good time while I was there, but I didn't do anything Vegas-ish.
Yeah, there's great eating. There's great dining. There's great dining in Vegas.
Did you do that while you were there?
I had 2 slices of pizza at the airport, and they were delicious.
Right.
They were magnificent. I had 3 hours at the terminal, just phone calls and pizza.
Ryan said all he heard was private jets to Vegas, limo ride to the bank, briefcase exchange, return home.
I posted that ripped up wizard. This is what I went to Vegas to pick up.
Yeah. DS6 says that's one of the reasons e-packet to CGC grading is still a gamble, because you can't really tell the condition of the card you're grading. But what you don't realize is that it's really not any difference from me looking at it in person. I go, it looks good. We're sending it.
Justin recently submitted a card to the McFarlane signing that got a 3 because he did not notice a 1.5 inch crease across Spider-Man's face.
Yes. So if I tell you you're pretty, you might want to get a second opinion.
That's hilarious.
Whoa. You there, bud?
Yeah. Am I gone?
You can
Am I here?
Okay. Yeah. No, just making sure you can still hear us.
Cool.
Well, dude, we've had a great show tonight. It's been fun.
It was fun. Yeah.
We made it basically hour 3. We got all our friends. Thank you, guys, gals, for watching and hanging out. If you haven't done so, Mark said the crease builds character. Yes, indeed. There's not another one like it, for sure.
I just love it. Ryan is encouraging me in life so much. He says, private jet to Vegas, limo ride to the bank, briefcase exchanged, return home. That's the story I heard.
Yeah.
I love it.
What's funny is that you didn't hear me say all of that a few seconds ago.
Dang, I'm so sorry. That is funny.
Well, your earbuds are going out. Yeah, not that you don't listen to me.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what it is. Marvelous Car says, have a marvelous night, everyone. Yes, everybody do exactly that. If you're watching this right now, have a marvelous night. If you're catching the replay, have a marvelous day. And do us a favor. You like this kind of content, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. We're not going to get to Ryan's comment here. When's your first video, Manu?
You didn't see me on Ken Goldin show. Because Ken had called me. Ken was like, don't launch your channel yet. I got a show coming out. I said, Ken, you know what? I don't want to steal your viewers. I'm going to let you have this week, Ken.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah, I'll call Ken and ask if that really happened. So.
Yeah, he's a busy man. You don't have to ask him anything.
Got you. Anyways, everybody. Yeah. We'll be back here, Lord willing, next week. But as always, I hope you have a marvelous